Yeah, apparently you're muted.
You guys should be able to hear me now. What I was saying was, oh my gosh, so much has changed in the last week since we were live. A lot of your favorite players are on different teams, or they got traded, or they signed to a new team. And how does that impact the NFL draft or dynasty rankings? And we're going to talk about all of that because a lot has updated. So let's just go through the updates together. Let's talk about them. I appreciate y'all for being here with us. What's up, Daniel Macy, our countdown resident, countdown expert, 45 days until the NFL draft. What's up, Albert? Welcome in. Joel, everything has changed. What's up, Sammy, in the building? We see you guys. Thanks for joining us.
How we feeling,
be a friend. Smash that like button as today's stream begins. Now, let's go ahead and talk about some of the updates that we need to know. All right, so Rico Dowdle is not returning to the Cowboys, and that is because the Cowboys signed Javonte Williams on a one-year deal. Now, the deal they signed him to was $3.5 million, which is not much. That's like Alexander Madison money. So this definitely doesn't stop them from drafting someone this year. In fact, I would be shocked if they don't draft someone still this year, but it's definitely an interesting landing spot. Maybe it's your last chance to go ahead and, sell Javonte Williams for a mid-second or something. But that deal was pretty big. We are hearing that the Chargers are pursuing Najee Harris. He would be actually a pretty good fit with them. It's kind of an upgraded Gus Edwards. And I will say it does make the NFL draft less exciting. So that is something that we'll need to monitor there. As far as fantasy relevant names, we have Mac Hollins, who went to the Patriots. That's funny. That's where I started there. You guys re-signed Darius Slayton to a 3-year, $36 million deal. I thought it was an overpay. You like it. Tell us.
I'm not saying I like it. I'm just saying everyone thinks it's an overpay. It's the exact same thing he's gotten for, like, his salary hasn't changed. He was getting paid $12 million for the past 2 years. They just extended his contract.
Okay,
that's all it is.
So Darius Slayton gets a $36 million bag, which it's crazy how much wide receivers can make. Okay, hold on. Darius Slayton just got a 3-year, $36 million deal. He might be a top 70 receiver in the NFL. You're telling me Travis Hunter isn't going to play wide receiver? You're telling me Travis Hunter isn't going to play wide receiver? Come on. I mean, anyway. I'm not saying you specifically. I'm just saying people.
Yeah.
Broncos won't trade for Cooper Kupp. They might be interested if he's released. Zach Wilson's going to Miami to back up Tua. Cooper Kupp is going to be released by the Rams soon, so maybe we see another Davante Adams type of deal. Justin Fields is a Steeler. We'll get to that in a second. Kenny Pickett is over to Cleveland, I assume, to be their backup.
Yeah.
Let's see. So much has happened today. The Commanders signed or traded for Laremy Tunsil, which we'll talk about here in a second. So this was the deal here. The Commanders got Laremy Tunsil, a 4th-round pick, sent away their 2nd, a 3rd, and a 4th. Funnily enough, that 3rd is the pick we got for Jahan Dotson. So I'm pretty happy with us recognizing we're in a window right now and trying to take full advantage of that and protect one of our, only assets we've been excited about in the past 3 years in Jaden Daniels. So I'm a big fan of the deal. And, we've seen these type of tackles like Trent Williams and these big bodies that can kind of play well into their early 30s. The way I view it is we sent away Jahan Dotson and a 2nd and a 4th for Laremy Tunsil and a 4th. So it's really just a 2nd-round pick that we sent if you want to flip those for us. I love it a lot for the run game in Washington. I love it for all the receivers in Washington, for Jaden Daniels. It's a huge plus for everybody in fantasy football. I hate that we lost Jeremy Chin to the Raiders, but that happened. Man, so much happened. Let's see. What was the other thing here? Titans, amongst other teams, are targeting Russell Wilson, which would be very interesting. Josh Palmer went to the Bills. Same deal as Darius Slayton. Samaje Perine signs a 2-year deal to the Bengals. Now, it's a 2-year deal worth up to $3.8 million, guys. So that's about $1.9 million per year. And I've seen some people say, well, that means Chase Brown's safe. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, this was a guy who wasn't even worthy of being the 3rd running back in Kansas City. I'm not so sure this is what the Bengals think as, like, their ideal backup to Chase Brown or their complementary piece to Chase Brown. Keep in mind that when Isaiah Pacheco went down with an injury, the Chiefs said, we need a Kareem Hunt. We need the ghost of Kareem Hunt. So I'm not so certain this is like the free pass Chase Brown owners want it to be. It could be. It certainly could be. De'Ami Brown goes to the Jags on a 1-year deal, $10 million. So, yeah. I guess they needed a Christian Kirk replacement. Doesn't really excite me for fantasy, to be honest.
I agree.
Justin Fields, obviously the big deal. Justin Fields signs a 2-year, $40 million deal with the Jets. This is definitely like the bridge quarterback type of structure for Justin Fields to get that $20 million per year. We've been talking about how Justin Fields was the most obvious, like, late round pick in Dynasty startups, cheap throw in a trade. And we both were like, he's going to start somewhere. Look at all the teams who need quarterback help, who need quarterback starters. He is going to start somewhere. And that ends up being the New York Jets. Now, this is great for Justin Fields. I mean, he has top 12 upside this year as a starter for the Jets with his rushing ability. But what do you think about this for Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall? I want to remind people that DJ Moore's best ever season for fantasy was with that guy as his quarterback, Justin Fields. And it was in a situation where DJ Moore was hyper-targeted. Is it right? Is it perfect? Is it Sam Darnold coming into the Jets again? Is it them trading for Kirk Cousins? No. But we have seen, similarly, they have chemistry at Ohio State. And we've seen Justin Fields hyper-target DJ Moore in the past. What do you think?
I mean, I think it's a good signing, personally. I think they have the natural chemistry. I think they should be fine. It just depends on the offensive coordinator and how this offense is going to look. For fantasy, I'm still a little bit lost where to draft him, where Garrett Wilson goes. I don't think a lot of people... I think there's a lot of Justin Fields hate.
Yeah.
So they're just instantly going to disregard Garrett Wilson, which might mean that he might be a great value.
Sure.
So
yeah. Well, Garrett Wilson might become a buy low here soon, so that is something to consider, especially if they don't add a serious weapon alongside of him. If it's just Justin Fields hyper-targeting Garrett Wilson, I think that could be a pretty decent season. But yeah, don't love it for Breece. I don't know that it drastically hurts or helps him, but you're probably going to change your offense. You're probably not going to throw the ball as much when you do a move like this.
Yeah.
I haven't changed my rankings, by the way, for a lot of these names. It's just been tough to keep up with. So I need to think about a lot of these conversations first. Sam Darnold. You know, we talked about this. I tweeted out about this a couple days ago, actually. And just basically said the Seahawks, Sam Darnold is probably going to get a massive bag from one of. And then I went on to say the Geno Smith trade makes Seattle my favorite / most likely landing spot. And that is where Sam Darnold ended up, in Seattle. In my mind, if they could send Geno away for a third and then replace him for Sam Darnold, which I think could play at a similar level for him, it made a lot of sense. And they did that. 3 years, $100 million. To me, this, everyone freaking out about JSN, this is more than stable enough quarterback play for me to be... when DK Metcalf was traded away, I put JSN as wide receiver 10 in my rankings. And I think that's where he belongs. He's probably going to get 170 targets this year. What do you think about this signing?
I think it's kind of what we all expected. I'm just interested to see how Sam Darnold is going to produce without KOC. I mean, a lot of people thought Sam Darnold's success came from the success around him. I mean, TJ Hawkinson, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, Aaron Jones. Now he's just going to Jackson Smith and Jigba and Kenneth Walker.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of it is going to depend on how he can transition and the weapons around him. So if you're telling me they get a top wide receiver in the draft and they get a Jackson Smith and Jigba and a Tet hypothetically falls, or a Mika or Luther Burden, that could be exciting. But I think he needs more than Jackson Smith and Jigba personally.
And look, he is going from the most quarterback-friendly system in the world, really, to the Seahawks. What I will say for JSN alone, I think it's a really good positive move, from the sense of you have a guy who showed that he could produce high-quality receivers last year on a 3-year deal at minimum, and you're the number one target. And by the way, you have the easy stuff in the offense. You have the over-the-middle, easy like screen game, slant game. You have the easy stuff, but hopefully that where you stretch out the field, it's there as well. But I think he's going to be a very safe play this year. I like the move. I think it makes sense for the Seahawks, even though it was kind of melting down there for the franchise for a second. Let's see what else happened. I know, obviously we're going to talk about Aaron Rodgers. Apparently, he's getting close to signing with the Steelers. So, Steelers fans are... I don't know how you feel about that. Elijah Mitchell is signing a deal with the Chiefs. And Elijah Mitchell is very good running back when healthy. Very good running back when healthy.
When healthy.
Now, the issue is when healthy. That's another $3.5 million deal. These guys who we used to view very highly in Dynasty or redraft, and we thought there was a lot of potential there. When they sign deals like this, where it's like $3 million, like the Javonte Williams deal, it's like, all right, I don't know how much this is like a important piece rather than depth, but we'll find out. Obviously, we'll have to talk about the Chris Godwin deal. He re-signed with the Bucs on a 3-year, $66 million contract, which seemed very cheap. Very cheap at $22 million per year. Only $44 million guaranteed, so 14 and a half pretty much. We were also told later on that he left about $20 million on the table to return to the Bucs rather than any other team, and that's just what a good organization can do. Now, this is obviously not great for Jalen McMillan. The continued breakout might halt, but we don't know if Chris Godwin's going to be the same player. We don't know that yet. We don't know how long Mike Evans can be the same player. So definitely not ideal, I would say, for the McMillan breakout year 2, but it's pretty comfortable for Chris Godwin if you own him in Dynasty right now. All right, there were some other moves. Jaylen Warren received the second-round tenure. Evan Ingram's going to visit the Broncos, which that could be a really fun fit, honestly. Obviously, the DK Metcalf move, the Davante Adams move. The Packers never made an offer for DK Metcalf. He signs a 5-year, $150 million deal with the Steelers. So, basically, he was like, I'd like a better quarterback, and I'd like to play in warmer weather. And then the Steelers said, how about $150 million? He's like, okay, actually, $150 million works. I'll take $30 million per year.
I'll take $150 million. I don't care.
I hate this for a lot of reasons. Number one, we already saw what George Pickens, his limitations were in an offense led by Arthur Smith with subpar quarterback play. You're probably going to have more subpar quarterback play. You're not getting Sam Darnold. Justin Fields is gone. Is it Russell Wilson? I don't know. Is it Aaron Rodgers, the ghost of Aaron Rodgers? And as of right now, George Pickens is still there. If they trade away George Pickens, maybe I feel a little bit differently. But remember how much you hated Drake London with Arthur Smith? Remember just last year how frustrating it was to own George Pickens with Arthur Smith? I don't really love this for dynasty purposes. In fact, it moved Metcalf outside of my top 26 of wide receivers. He's now like wide receiver 29, I think, for me, or 28 in dynasty. The contract is nice. I don't know how much I love it.
I agree.
Yeah, it's not
don't like it at all.
It's like the least attractive landing spot you could have thought of for all the teams that were interested.
Yeah, completely agree.
The Texans we heard of, the Chargers we heard of, those all would have been way, way, way more interesting for us. Josh Allen got a big extension. Davante Adams signed with the Rams. I think this is great, honestly. Like, if you're a contending team and you have Davante Adams, you just got a whole bunch of life back. Because he's going to have Matthew Stafford this year. He's going to have Puka Nacua and Davante Adams on the same team. I mean, there's a very realistic chance that Davante Adams could finish as a top 15 to 20 wide receiver this year in that offense with those kind of targets. I don't really think it hurts Puka Nacua long term. He'll still be the favorite, but I think Davante, I mean, that's a good amount of money, right? I think he's going to garner like 7 to 8 targets per game in that offense. I love it.
It is a lot of money, and I think, especially with Sean McVay, you know what he does with new shiny toys. He's just gonna feed him the ball for sure. I mean, unlucky for the Jordan Whittington, a lot of holds.
Yeah,
The Jordan Whittington believers out there, but yeah, Davante Adams in this offense should be nice. I wonder what number he's gonna wear.
yeah, because Puka's obviously 17, so it's an interesting conversation. You know, someone, and I did think about this in our group chat, our friends. Someone was like, "It feels like Allen Robinson to the Rams," and I thought, "Damn." Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
No. It doesn't feel that way. I think Davante Adams is just elite. I don't know if Allen Robinson was ever elite. He was nice.
Yeah.
He was really good. And we hoped for amazing stuff, but this is an elite wide receiver
Yeah.
that hasn't dropped off at all.
Yeah,
I mean, you saw it last year.
I think this is going to be a fantastic landing spot for him. I don't think you could have dreamt up, like, genuinely, I don't think there was a better landing spot for Davante Adams if you own him in Dynasty. For real. Like, I can't think of a single spot I would have been happier with. So, but I was very high on Allen Robinson when he went to the Rams. I was very sure. Anyway, we'll pretend like that never happened. The other thing I wanted to talk about here, and I don't know if we're going to see it. Yeah, Aaron Jones re-signs with the Vikings. This was such a peculiar move to me. In fact, I don't know. Like, for me, this felt like the most peculiar move of the offseason. So, Aaron Jones, who has had a long history of injuries, right? Dealt with injuries a lot of last year for this team, and he was very good when he was healthy. And then you're talking about one of the most stacked draft classes we've seen since 2017. And the Vikings decided to pay Aaron Jones a 2-year, $20 million deal.
I wonder if the breakdown is out
Now,
already.
The thing is, we already heard from this team that regardless of if they brought Aaron Jones back or not, they're going to split work with someone else. So don't be surprised if they still go grab one of these names. Caleb Johnson and Aaron Jones are the new duo, right? But it was a little bit peculiar to offer him a 2-year deal at the age of 30 with his body frame and size and injury history. But it certainly gives him a little bit more life, you know, the James Conner type of life. The difference is I think James Conner is probably going to be a more secure workload on his offense this year, unless Trey Benson decides to break out. But I think that's the main news. You know, Zach Ertz re-signed with the Commanders since we talked. Mike Gesicki with the Bengals is big. Hollywood Brown to the Chiefs. You know, JJ's likely going to start because Sam Darnold's not back with the Vikings. And those kind of things, I would say, you know, were the biggest to highlight. Geno Smith to the Raiders. That's the one that that was the cherry that popped. The cork that, you know, popped off, and then everything kind of started from that.
He was the first one of the year, you know, just pop.
Finger popping. Desk pop. But yeah, as far as Geno Smith to the Raiders, I love it for Brock Bowers. I love it for Jacoby Myers. And if they bring in another weapon, I love it for them. It's just a stable presence. It's much better than Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell. I'll tell you that.
For sure.
Okay. I think that's the majority of things we need to talk about. My rankings will be updated in the next couple days. I'll be honest with you guys. I might wait until free agency is fully done to update my rankings. But my plan is next week's videos will be running back and wide receiver rankings updated for Dynasty because so much is changing. Now, we're going to get into this mock draft, but if you guys are out there and the video I just released today, a bunch of you guys were able to be a part of it because I sent out a tweet and, you know, you guys were able to be a part of the video that came out today. It was super fun, including a bunch of your trades. You have a chance to be a part of another video, okay? And that video is going to be released probably this week. And basically the video is, who do you think is the biggest sell high in Dynasty football right now? I want to hear your thoughts. So I'm going to spam this link in the chat. Go to my Twitter, reply there. Now, don't just say a name. Now, look, I appreciate Fantasy Football Goomba, who said JJ McCarthy. But I'm like, tell me why. Like, if you actually want to be featured on the video, give me good reason as to why you think they're a sell high, right? So a lot of people here, like, for example, DY135, gave me, you know, good rationale as to why they think JSN is. And I'll evaluate this on the video and bring their case. But I want to know why. Don't just say, JJ McCarthy. Don't just say JSN or Aaron Jones. Tell me why you think. What's the rationale? What's the backing behind it? So go reply to that tweet if you want to be a part of the next video that will be released on this channel. Okay. I think we finally got into the mock draft, Badaki.
That's how we do it.
If people want to join today's mock draft, how can they get in?
Yeah, guys, join our Discord. That link is in the description. I'll put that link in the chat here for you guys. If you're watching now or later, this is how you join each and every mock draft, okay? Join our Discord. Go to the Fantasyland tab with the orange footballs and go to announcements. That's how you can join each and every mock draft. It is first come, first serve, and I'll send that link out here in 3, 2, there you go.
All right, that link will be out. And I mean, who knows what will happen on stream? Right? I mean, who knows if something else crazy happens?
I want something big to happen.
So, anyway, Bad Bunny. All right, this is a 12-team super flex PPR, third round reversal. Tight end premium can be 0.5. That's fine. Let's get this thing going in 3, 2, 1. 60 seconds on the clock. I'm gonna be right back. Badaki, entertain the people, and let's look at this super chat. I'll be right back.
Yeah, appreciate you. Matthew says Koala's free agency. Bree said, hi, Bree. He says, we made a trade. I sent her Pearsall and received Corm plus a 202 who won. Don't boost her ego anymore because she jumped like a baby kangaroo. Well, then I don't want to answer the question because I don't want to boost her ego. So maybe that gives you everything you need to know there, Matthew, about what you think. What I think about the trade. I would have kept Ricky. Blake Corum could have an interesting pathway, but the 202, maybe that's one of these running backs, Giddens or Evan Neal. Maybe they go in a good landing spot, but I would have kept Slick Ricky personally. I think Zach will probably say the same thing, especially with Debo being gone, especially with those rumors, Brandon Ayuk potentially being moved still. I do imagine they go younger. They might get another wide receiver, but I would personally take the 202. But I could be wrong.
Yeah, I saw the
I could be wrong.
I saw the question there. I think if Blake Corum becomes something, I think this is a decent trade. But you kind of need the 202 to be like a Matthew Golden in the first round, right? Because you sent away a first-round pick for the 49ers after they traded away Debo, which is going to clear up some targets. So it will really depend on the draft, Matthew. Honestly, Matthew, if you want to win this trade, you need the NFL draft to really go in your favor. I'm talking 5 running backs in the first 2 rounds, at least 3 receivers in the first round, at least 2 quarterbacks in the first round, at least 2 tight ends in the first round. You really need to have that 202 gain value as the class bulks up. That's what I would say is my opinion, but we'll find out in 6 months from now who won that trade. Okay.
Yeah.
Jamar Chase went at the 101. Liam says it's crazy. And it's, you know what? We love the roll, but the roll is always in here just trying to shake things up. I don't know if he does it for the reaction or not, but he's a long-time supporter and watcher. We appreciate the roll. Would I take Jamar Chase over Allen or Daniels in a Superflex league? Or probably not. Probably wouldn't. But yeah. Is it the craziest thing I've ever seen? Also, no. But again, would I do it? Probably not. Yeah. Any thoughts?
No, I mean, I wouldn't have done it personally. Love Jamar Chase. Love what he can do, especially in the Superflex league. If you can get one of the best quarterbacks in the world, honestly, 3 of the top quarterbacks in the NFL currently, in Josh Allen, Daniels, and Lamar, you take your chances. I get Jamar Chase is a great wide receiver, but yeah, I would just take the quarterback in the Superflex league. 1 quarterback guaranteed. Let's go Jamar Chase every time.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't change what I'm doing here at the 112, right? Brian Thomas is still gone. As his neighbors and all those wide receivers and Gibbs. So it makes my decision a little bit difficult. None of the quarterbacks I really want to go hard after are here. I'm probably going to settle on Bijan with this first pick, but I'm going to give myself some time to think about the next one, which I will probably go a wide receiver here as well. I'll grab some Pookie Nakui here. I'll grab some Pookie Nakui here at the 201. You know, I know Davante Adams is there, but guys, I mean, how many years have we seen Davante Adams support 2 wide receivers in LA? I mean, how many times have we seen Sean McVay support multiple wide receivers in his offense? Do we really need to be concerned about the young breakout? Last year, people said don't draft Puka Nacua too high because Cooper Kupp. I mean, you know, I'm going to still put him right there in that same tier with the Neighbors and Bryans and those players in this class.
Okay.
Frank has a super chat. He says, you guys think the wide receiver deals today affect Higgins and the Bengals' ability to keep him moving forward, moving him at all in rankings? No, I don't think anything happened today that's really massively impacted that.
No, I don't think so either. I'm not sure what could have impacted him. If anything,
No. I think there are 2 outcomes for T. Higgins this offseason. Do you want to know what they are? Number 1, he signs a franchise tag and plays on it again with the Bengals. Number 2, he signs a long-term deal with the Bengals. I think those are the 2 only outcomes for him. They made it very clear they do not want to move on from him. And to be honest, the Metcalf deal is probably what T's going to get. Right? I mean, I don't know if the NFL perceives them that differently. 150 over 5, about 30 per. That's probably the type of deal you're going to see for a DK Metcalf, don't you think?
For T. Higgins? What the DK Metcalf?
For a T. Higgins, yeah. What DK got, I think you'll see, you know.
What is Jamar Chase getting then?
Well, because Jamar Chase is he's setting the market. He's resetting the entire market, Jamar Chase is. He's getting $45 million. How much did JJ get last year?
Wasn't it like 42 or 45-ish, like you said? I just don't think they can pay him 100 what DK got and then reset the market with JJ.
So Jefferson got 140 over 4, which is 35 per. Wow, that's crazy to know that Jefferson was 35 per and DK is 30 per. That's actually wild. So you're going to see Jamar Chase probably at 38 to 40 million per year. And that's why I think they're going to just franchise tag T. Higgins again. I think they're going to put him back on the tag. You know, I mean, they can't afford to sign both of them. I know people are saying that, you know, I don't think they can't afford both, but I think that's why they're franchise tagging on purpose. Whether that's, you know, right or wrong in your opinion, that's probably what they're doing. So Herbert went, by the way. Bowers, you got the 203. I like that. Then we had a run of quarterbacks here with Mahomes, May, Nix, Caleb. And, you know, man, Drake London is available. Or he went. Okay, he went. Yeah, interesting spot to be in here. Don't know.
What are you thinking?
I'm going to grab JSN. I'm going to grab JSN here. I'm going to play the long game. And this is why we mock. We'll try some different strategies here. I just didn't love the quarterbacks in this range. So we're going to go JSN and see what comes back to us after 24 picks. Michael says, Bengals said they were paying Chase as the highest non-quarterback in the NFL, so they'd have to pay him more than Myles Garrett.
What Myles Garrett just got 40 million, so he needs to give 40 plus. Right?
Yes. So that will be interesting. Russell Wilson's market beyond the Giants is considered flat, so it looks like maybe you guys are about to get Russell Wilson.
Honestly, I'd rather get Russell Wilson on a cheaper deal than what probably Aaron Rodgers was asking for. I don't care. I don't want Aaron Rodgers. Love you. You done great things. Time to hang it up, brother. Give us Russell Wilson on a cheap deal, 2-year deal, and they'll get Shador or Cam or Dart. I actually don't care what happens.
I
don't
honestly
want-
think
don't want Aaron
that they're going to cost the same. Am I off mark thinking that? I think they will cost the same.
What's the cost?
Like 15 a year?
I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to take 15 a year. I could
Brother,
be wrong.
Darius Slayton just cost you 12 a year.
I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to take 15 million. Like, I get it, but do you think Aaron Rodgers
what I
is
just
gonna
said
pay-
is I stand by it. You just paid Darius Slayton 12 million. I mean, Justin Fields just got 20 million. I think that Aaron's going to cost around the 15 mark, don't you think?
That's what I'm saying. I want Russell Wilson because he's going to be cheaper. I don't think we can get Aaron Rodgers.
But do you
for 15
really
million.
think there's going to be a big difference in contract price between a Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers after last year?
I would think so. I could be completely wrong.
Okay.
I think with the accolades that Aaron Rodgers has over Russell Wilson, I think it's pretty significant.
Okay. That's fair.
But I mean, I could be wrong.
I think they'll
me.
get something
That's what I
similar,
think.
but it'll be interesting to watch for sure.
What did Rodgers get when he went to the Jets?
Well, remember, they were thinking MVP Rodgers at the time, so I don't know that it's really going to be helpful now.
He was getting 2023 to 2025. Aaron Rodgers signed a 3-year deal, 100.
Yeah, I mean that's
12
they were
million.
expecting MVP Rodgers, which they didn't get. You know,
He was getting an average salary of 37 million a year. So like,
that's
basically,
not helpful for this conversation, though. Do you think?
no,
it is?
I'm just. He's gonna get less than half of what he got the year before. I don't think he would do that.
Brother,
I'm
I'm
just
not
thinking
sure
of Aaron
anybody
Rodgers.
wants to sign Aaron Rodgers.
That's what I'm saying. I know. I agree. I'm not disagreeing. I just don't think. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to say, "Yeah, I'll sign a deal for 15 million and play football for you," if it's not a championship team. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Sure, I think
And like,
2022 version of Aaron Rodgers would feel that way,
Yeah,
but I think he's probably lowered his own expectations. Okay.
maybe.
In the third round, I went JSN. Then we had Marvin, Ladd, Tet. So a run of wide receivers. Tet becomes the 102 in this startup, by the way. We had Stroud, AJ. We had Jordan Love. We had Garrett Wilson, Rashee Rice, Barkley, Achane. JJ McCarthy jumps up to the 312. One of the players I've been asking you to buy all offseason. Now, I can't really say this is market because we know the role. We love the role. But he's constantly doing things to kind of throw us off the mark here. So I don't really know if that's actually what JJ is going to cost in your startups. In fact, I'd probably say he's going to be more of a 5th round pick. But regardless, you could see JJ move up. We love you the role, by the way. We saw Hampton go, then Brees, and then Bucky Irving. Now, I wanted to talk specifically about the Garrett Wilson over Rashee Rice pick. I don't think that Justin Fields is negative for Garrett Wilson. I don't think it's a positive. I think it's a neutral move. However, I do feel like Rashee Rice should be firmly ahead of Garrett Wilson at this point, knowing that at best you're getting Justin Fields, DJ Moore.
Yeah.
So I do
And
believe
I think-
Rashee Rice
I
should
think
be
that's
ahead of
fine.
Garrett Wilson at this point.
I would agree. I think people will, even with the suspension, I think people in the Dynasty community is gonna look at Rice and be like, "Oh, I don't love him with the suspension, specifically
Yeah.
for the year." You know, a
Even
lot
with
of
the
people,
suspension, I think
people like to
he's
draft
worth it. Yeah.
based off of with everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Joseph says he sees Fields as very good for Garrett Wilson. And, you know, like, I
think
can
so as
see
well.
that pathway. Like I said, I think it's a neutral move. I don't really think it's a positive or a negative. You know, again, I'd like to remind people that DJ Moore's best ever season came with hyper targets from Justin Fields. So it is possible. But we don't know if they're going to add someone else in the draft. Could they add a tight end to compete with? We just don't really know for sure yet exactly what this is all going to look like for the Jets as a run of quarterbacks come off the board with Penix, Lawrence. Damn, I was looking so pretty at the 4-7, and then we had everyone was thinking the same thing here.
Yeah, I was. I thought Kyler was about to fall. I thought I was getting excited for Kyler, and then I was like, all right, I'll take, Baker. Oh, Baker went. I'll take Michael Penix. I knew he was going to come back to me, so I needed to get a quarterback there.
Yes. Interesting. Super interesting moves here. Huh. I mean, I am a little bit confused by Jared Goff and his price right now, I will say. Just seems like everybody's out on Jared Goff. I don't understand. His price is super low on KTC. And I get that Ben Johnson is leaving. But guess who's not leaving? Amon-Ra St. Brown. Sam Laporta. Jahmyr Gibbs. David Montgomery. I mean, Jared Goff and Patrick Mahomes, what is the difference in age between these guys? Jared Goff is 30. When does Mahomes turn 30?
Next year, no?
This year, right?
Yeah.
And Jared Goff has been the better fantasy quarterback for 2 straight years. So, yeah, just something I struggled to fully wrap my head around, I guess. But I am back up here on the clock, and you know what we're going to do? We're going to go ahead and grab DJ Moore here. We're going to grab DJ at the 501. And we're going to see him in that new Ben Johnson offense.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. I wanted DJ. I think that was the last guy I wanted there. Okay. It's not a bad pick. I'll take Devonta Smith here.
Yeah, I was thinking of Davante. He's like the guy you settle for, I feel like, in every draft. Hey, it's like, yeah.
It's not,
all right.
It's not somebody you really want, but
yeah, like,
you're okay with what he's going to give you.
Devonta's fine. I'll throw him in my lineup. It's kind of how I feel about like Addison a little bit as well. Yeah, you can put him in there. He'll be okay flex,
Yeah. Yeah, what can you do?
All right, so we do see Egbuka go as well as Xavier Worthy. I was curious how far Xavier Worthy would fall. I know a lot of our community really loves him. Appreciate you, Connor. Let's see. Trying to keep up with the chat here. Rioza says, cannot wait to see the Aaron Rodgers-Tomlin bromance flourish, which you'll love. I don't know if you remember, before he went to the Jets, there was like talks. The Steelers, that could be the spot. He's got a great connection with Mike Tomlin, remember? So
yeah, I do. I think it makes sense.
Yeah. It could be one of those spots that make a lot of sense.
Please go there.
As Judkins comes off the board, I like that pick a lot. In fact, the more I look back on my pick of DJ Moore, the more I kind of regret it, knowing I could have had a Travion or a Judkins. That probably was a smarter move to make at that point of the draft from me. So Laporta in a Titan premium falls to the 505. Pretty decent value there. Gumps is saying, fuck them wide receivers. So I'm going to build around these running backs. Let me tell you something about these running backs, brother. It's like we are a hard-nosed, blue-collar team here with brother Bo Nix, Bucky, and Kyron. Yeah, let's see what wide receivers end up on this team. I'm going to be interested to see.
Let's have a geese, huh?
Scribble says the Steelers continue to be a dumpster fire as Olave comes off the board. It is quite funny that the Steelers went, what was it, like 4-2 with Justin Fields as a starter, and then they decided to develop him for the entire year and said, you know what, you can go to the Jets.
Yeah, right. It's a bit random.
Yeah. It's a bit hard to like wrap your mind around, I think. For me, at least.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay.
Not really sure what was happening there. Like, what was the game plan?
Yeah. What was the plan? I don't know.
Maybe they just knew the type of contract he wanted, and they were going to get it.
Yeah. Maybe
maybe
he didn't develop into who they wanted him to be.
Or they can just get Aaron Rodgers. Come on, Aaron.
Or they can get the ghost of Aaron Rodgers.
Do it for all of us.
Sammy says the roll's got to be trolling. All right, you know what? I do need you to defend yourself after this one, the roll. We went ahead and we drafted Metcalf and Pickens. So you want both wide receivers from Arthur Smith's offense with no quarterback right now. Brother, you actually do need to defend yourself on this one, okay? I want to know why. TD says, absolutely insane discount on Penix right now. Yeah, I agree. I was really looking forward to drafting Michael Penix before Badaki took him off the board from me. Sammy goes 3 quarterbacks in his first 6 picks.
Sammy's really killing us, isn't he?
Yeah. But hey, he's getting his guy. If he sees the most value there in Dak, that's what he's doing there. Dak was good value, though. I definitely agree with Sammy there. It was good value. I think we were probably all eyeing up Dak. I think if any one of these teams, Mills, Badaki, Connor, or myself, I think if any of us saw Dak on the board in the 6th round, we probably would have drafted him.
Yeah. Wow, this is interesting. Let's see. Might risk it for the biscuit here.
What's up, Fleezus Christ? Welcome in. I appreciate you for being here. It says, love the content. Hooked on the vids. I love to see it.
Jesus Christ. Love, brother. We appreciate you.
Yeah. Ayuk is such a good pick. Man. I love Ayuk's value this offseason.
Oh, dude, I don't know what to do. It's like 2 people.
Yeah. It's a bit like that right now at this point in the draft, isn't it?
I feel like I'm reaching on this guy because of the ADP, but I feel like this is a good pick now.
I'd say probably don't reach then. If you reach, I'll teach.
You know what? Teach me. F. What should I do? What should I do? What should I do? I don't know what to do. I am going
5
to
seconds. Oh, okay. I didn't think about that, honestly. Wow.
Yeah, I feel like with the contract, I mean, he was a top wide receiver. What was he, like top 8 wide receiver in the first half of the season?
Yeah.
Obviously, offensive coordinator's gone.
Do you know who I thought you were saying?
Who?
I thought you were saying Sam Darnold.
He's on the queue, but I wanted to see how it's going to pan out.
Yeah, I am going to take a quarterback here. It is going to be Bryce Young, though.
Yes, you see, so I had Bryce, Sam, and Chris Godwin on the queue, waiting to see what was going to happen. Because I technically would have Bryce Young higher than Sam Darnold just based off age.
Yeah.
And just everything around him. But it is interesting, which makes me believe I could get Sam Darnold to come back.
Yeah.
Which is great.
I was definitely thinking Bryce or one of Darnold, Sanders, like in this range. So I'll go Bryce here. And then I think Jameson just feels like a huge value. I don't know if I'm overvaluing him at the 7-1. Huge value may not be the right word, but I have him ranked right by Jalen Waddle, right by Chris Godwin. So to get the stack of, Goff and Jameson here, I think I like this play here. Jameson becomes my wide receiver 4. We're still going anchor running back here. I like this team. This team is panning out nicely, I think.
Yeah, see, I'll take Sam Darnold here, which is not bad. So it worked out for me.
Yeah, Darnold's a great pick there, honestly. I think Mills is diving deep now. They're looking in the bargain bins for quarterbacks. We get Sanders off the board, by the way. That makes him, I believe, the 111. I might be wrong. We also have Tyler Warren coming off the board and Matthew Golden as far as the rookies in the last couple picks. Joel's going horde after these rookies. In fact, his last 4 picks were all rookies. Vernon, Ibuka, Hunter.
That's a good pick.
Golden. Chuba Hubbard is a fantastic pick there. So I really like that. The Giants signed James Winchester, a long snapper. How is this going to change rankings?
Woo! Come on, we're making moves, baby.
He signed a 1-year deal worth $1.65 million. You know what's funny about that?
Well, that's the Chiefs, you mean?
What did
That's
I
your
say?
team. You said the Giants.
Oh, did I say the Giants?
I did.
The
I
Chiefs,
just read
yeah.
the tweet. Wrong.
I meant to say the Chiefs. Where is this tweet at? You know what's funny about this? $1.65 million. What does that sound like to you? Doesn't sound like a lot, right? Could you imagine
That's a
any
lot
of
of money
us
to me.
ever making $1.65 million in a single year in our lives? I mean, you guys needed like motivational speakers or something? Y'all got money. You need like, I will whip up the nastiest Gatorade you've ever had. All right? I mean, and I'll make it just so right where it won't show up on any tests, but you'll see like a 10% improvement across the board. I'll do it. I'll do it for $500K. It'll be the cheapest contract you have. You'll see a difference. Y'all got money over there.
You see a difference, you know. Team support.
Let me cook. Just hire me and let me cook. All right. So after Chuba Hubbard, we had Zay Flowers, Jerry Jeudy, Jordan Addison, Derrick Henry, George Kittle coming off the board. So starting to line up pretty nicely here. DK Metcalf, by the way, I don't feel like fell at all. And you know, I feel like he was already going at the 5-12 range, 5th round, 6th round. If anything, maybe he moved up compared to our previous mock drafts, which is a little surprising with him being in Pittsburgh. Who are the other big names? Is there any other big? I mean, Davante Adams goes at the 7-2. That makes sense with him going to the Rams there. You know, you took Godwin at the 6-10. Sam Darnold at the 7-3. It's funny because I don't think Darnold's price is really going to change. I think people are skeptical on the Seahawks landing spot. So
I think so. I mean, I personally think so as well. Like, a lot of success came from the surroundings around him, and he's going to a team that just blew it up.
yeah,
Feels like it, right? Like, you get rid of one of your best wide receivers in DK. You get rid of your quarterback, obviously, to get a young quarterback. I just don't understand what's happening over there, but it is interesting.
All right, as we see Colson Loveland come off the board there. So Colson Loveland comes off the board. He ended up being the one, if we're talking rookie draft wise, the 202, around that range.
Yeah.
In the rookie draft there. Evie says, I'm gonna teach my kid to snap the ball so good. I mean, yeah, if you specialize as a long snapper, I mean, there's a chance. There's a chance you could be making some serious dough.
Yeah, I mean, what can you do? What can you do here?
As Chase Brown comes off the board.
Brown.
So let's talk about the Samaje Perine signing. You know, I talked about it at the beginning of the stream. A lot of people are reading this as Chase Brown's safe. Sorry?
I heard a report that, like, he did not sign unless it was reported to the wrong team.
Did Samaje not sign with Brown? With the
I
Bengals?
heard.
Is that the case?
I could be wrong.
Damn, great values there on Tua and Fields. I was eyeing them up. I'm not going to lie to you.
Monty went. Okay, well. What to do then?
Well, okay. Let's say hypothetically that Samaje is with the Bengals then. Does it make you feel comfortable with Chase Brown? Are you confidently holding him still?
100%.
You are? Okay. You are 100% holding him with confidence because of the Samaje signing.
Oh, sorry. No, it's like with a ability with them drafting of somebody. I think that's still there.
Okay.
If that's what you're trying to get at.
That was my question directly, yes.
Am I confident that Samaje Perine is not going to make the Bengals draft a running back? Absolutely not.
Okay. Yes, that was my main question there.
Okay, yeah, okay, great.
I'm gonna take two shots here. I think Ricky's a huge value at the 8-12, and I'll take A-Rich in the 9th round. I still think there's as much upside as there was last year. It's just a little bit of a shorter leash, and
running backs. Yeah, let's do it.
I like that as a little value pick there.
We could do it too.
So you took Geno Smith off the board.
Yeah, nice QB3 there.
Matthew says Bree said Ricky's a steal at the 8-12. Tell her I did it specifically with her in mind. I was like, you know what? She's gonna love this. But yeah, that becomes my last flex.
Oh no.
By the way, Ricky Pearsall.
Slick Ricky.
Slick Ricky.
Yeah, right. That was it, Tyler. So I thought he saw him sign to the Bucks. I think it was the first report that came out was that he signed to the Bucks, and then that was apparently fake, and he signed with the with the Bengals.
Okay, let me look. I thought Samaje signed with the Bengals.
I'm not saying that what you're saying is not true. I'm saying there was a report that did come out saying he signed with the Bucks, and then somebody from the Bucks front office said, actually, we never signed him.
Right. No. The Bengals are bringing Samaje Perine back on a 2-year, $3.8 million deal. So my question was more, there's this narrative out there right now, whether right or wrong, that Chase Brown is now safe because they brought Samaje back on a 2-year deal worth $3.8 million. That is like RB3 money. This is my concern. They brought him back for like RB3 worth money.
I think more special teams.
You think about Alexander Madison, even he was getting like 5 a year. 3.8 over 2. That's like less than $2 million per year. It's like backup money, So I'm just not 100% sure that this means Chase Brown is safe. Yeah, so Tyler saw the incorrect report that he signed with the Bucks.
Yeah, I saw that as well early.
Alex says Kyle Juszczyk just released CMC stock falling so fast.
Be careful.
Bro, I want Kyle in Washington.
Well,
bring all them boys who feel like, they got something to prove over to Washington. Debo? You gonna give me Debo for a 5th? Shoot, now we got Laremy Tunsil protecting the blind side. Sheesh. Y'all be careful. Y'all be careful now. All right, so we did see Bashul Tootin and Jalen Royals, by the way, coming off the board here in the 9th round. We saw Ollie Gordon come off the board here at the 10-1, as well as Trey Harris. I do like the Trey Harris pick. No comment on Ollie Gordon. Michael Pittman goes at the 10-2. I feel like the role knows the territory it comes with now.
Yeah, I mean, you might have to go on timeout, roll. Might have to be in timeout. Get in the corner, get a little cone hat, stare at the wall. Or you just get one of those pieces of papers to say, I'm not going to draft a bad team ever again. And you have to write that 5,000 times.
Well, he likes the team. He likes his team. He's got conviction in it. By the way, I just saw Devin Neal and DJ Giddens coming off the board in this round, as well as Jack Besh, which that hurts my heart. Roll says, "How's this a bad team?" Look, I'm not gonna say it's a bad team. Roll. I just think again, there's just moves that we wouldn't have made. We wouldn't have taken Jamar Chase at the 101 in the Superflex League with Josh Allen, Jaden Daniels, and Lamar Jackson on the board, right? We probably wouldn't have taken JJ McCarthy that high. I think he's more of a 4th than a 3rd. Maybe it looks better at the 4-1. I don't know. I definitely wouldn't have taken Metcalf and Pickens, the Steelers' teammates, as my wide receiver 2 and 3. I personally would have taken Hawkinson or Loveland over Kittle. And I wouldn't take an Ollie Gordon that high. But that's just, you just have very strong opinions to roll that we don't necessarily align on. That doesn't mean it's a bad team. It just means we don't necessarily agree on the values of all these players. And that's totally okay. That's the beauty of Dynasty football, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. It's all, either way, it's all love.
Yeah.
And don't take it too personal.
No, definitely not.
Nice little run here. There goes Najee Harris, who I had him on queue.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take another running back there. I had him on my queue, especially with the reports of him potentially going to the Los Angeles Chargers. Normally, when you see those reports saying a deal is finalized, Najee Harris potentially going to the Chargers, is most likely solidified. They're just probably working out the numbers. I'm going to take Tyrone Tracy here.
Fuck. Damn it.
Because you got to call on
That would have been
time.
perfect, dude. I was just eyeing that up. It just was falling ever so perfectly. And then you had to go and fuck it all up.
Oh, yeah. I mean, what can you do? What
Yeah,
can you do?
fucking
You know.
bitch. Okay.
Family friendly. Family
Yeah,
friendly.
actually, you know what? That is on me. I need to take
friendly.
responsibility for that one. Shit! Ruined my whole plan, man. You ruined my groove. All right, at the 10th round? Oh, wait a second. We'll take Mark Andrews in the 10th round. All right, we're chilling. We're chilling with 10th round Mark Andrews. Almost 11th round Mark Andrews. Yes, please. I'm just trying to sell myself on it. We'll come back around. We'll grab a running back here. Yeah. We'll grab James. We'll grab James. Look at that starting lineup. Hold on. One second. Let me flex for a second. Okay, let me flex. All right. In 11 rounds, we've built a starting lineup that has Jared Goff, Bijan Robinson, James Conner, Puka Nacua, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Mark Andrews, DJ Moore, Jameson Williams, Ricky Pearsall, Bryce Young, and Anthony Richardson. All right. Chill. I'll be right back.
I definitely thought when I saw that, and if it was Jaden Daniels, and I was like, "You're kidding me." I paused for a quick second, and then I just reread it, and it said O-line. Give me Joe Milton. Joe Milton. Patriots have trade discussions around Joe Milton. Okay, get him to the Giants. Great arm there. Something crazy. Mobile quarterback. Let's do something, huh? Please. Who is in discussion? That's the real question. The Patriots have discussion on trading QB Joe Milton and would like to trade him to the right situation to continue his development in the NFL. Should get a deal done. We'll develop him. Huh? We'll take him. You pay me back with the snipe. Sorry, brother. So now he's going to finish RB1 overall. Book it. I'll bet Bedaki's car on it. I mean, I don't know how possible that is, brother. Najee RB1, that's crazy.
By the way, we got a super chat from Matthew. I don't know if we've seen this, but
oh, no, sorry.
He says Bree just made a blockbuster trade and wants your input. Okay, so here's a trade. Sent Brian Thomas, Neighbors. Oh my gosh. Okay, we sent Brian Thomas, Neighbors, and Bryce Young, I'm assuming, for Lamar, Evans, and Cooper.
It has Allen, Gibbs in the 102. I mean, let's just preface this by saying,
oh no,
we have been telling people to send the 101 for Malik Neighbors, the 101, or maybe even the 102 for Brian Thomas, depending if you can get him in your league.
We've also been using Bryce Young as a good tear down. You already had Josh Allen. I gotta be honest, I don't like this one. I'm sorry, Bree. I gotta be honest
Allen,
here.
Gibbs, and the 102. So
again, looking at this trade, I would say Brian Thomas and Malik Neighbors. I don't think you could trade for them for less than 3 first-round picks right now. Think about that. They're worth more than the 101 in most people's eyes, and the 101 we value as Ashton Genty worth 3 first-round picks. So you sent, and let's say Bryce is just 1. You sent 7 first-round picks here of value for Lamar, which I get, and then 2 aging guys like Evans and Cooper. The Evans and Cooper side of it is just where it really breaks down for me. You know, if Evans could have been Terry, maybe that would have made a difference. But if Cooper could have been Jalen Waddle, Jameson Williams, you know, just some way to recover that value. I have to be fully transparent. I'm not in love with it. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I would agree. I'm not in love with it.
By the way, that is one of those trades, Matthew and Bree, in the future. Please, if you got a blockbuster like that, bring it to us on the channel or on the website first, and we can try and cook up a counter for you. But I'm sorry, but you come to us for transparency. I think that's too much.
Yeah, and by the way, just to give you full transparency there, Matthew and Bree, YouTube takes 30% of all your donations. On the Flock Fantasy website, that doesn't happen. And you can link your team and give any details, and we can give you counters and stuff. So not saying Chase Young to re-sign with the Saints. Wow, blockbuster.
Huge.
But not saying you need to put this on the site. Just, once again, full transparency. I think you can get more bang for your buck, especially if you would have put that trade, link to teams, etc., etc.
He says she knows it was an overpay, but wanted that double elite quarterback room. Like,
That's
look,
fair.
my counter would have probably been like, let's send Brian Thomas and Bryce Young, and we don't need Cooper back. Like, I just think, yeah, those guys are tough to get a hold of, man. No one is selling the Neighbors and Brian Thomases of the world, so if you win it all, you won't think about it. You'll be like, I won it all. It doesn't matter. But
I want it all.
It's just
I want
full transparency. It's a toughie. It's a toughie. Charlie says, Zach, you'll get a kick out of this. Dude, just offer me the 210 and Eckler for Brian Thomas. Yeah, that's crazy. Also, thanks for letting us know about the trade question. Didn't know YouTube was taking a cut. Yeah, just so you guys know, YouTube takes 30% of any of your super chats. That's why we direct you guys to the Flock site. Because when you submit a Flock site, you see that button at the top, personal advice. You know, we don't, obviously, Mason isn't taking 30% from us, right? Like YouTube is, so. Javonte Williams went, which I was curious to see how high he might go. I still think he's like their backup. I don't think you pay him $3 million to start for you. But there's a chance that they don't do anything in the NFL draft, and Javonte looks like a huge, you know, sell high in season. But he could also recover. I mean, a full year,
don't do anything, then,
a full another year removed from that injury, you know, I mean, you could start to sell it.
Wow, they gave him $51 million. Holy shit. Was he effective in New Orleans? No, right? Am I tripping there?
No,
What?
not really. By the way, Matthew,
Wow.
you're totally okay, man. We appreciate any sort of support. It means a lot. Okay, I'm on the clock here, and I'm going to take a rookie that I love, who I think is just constantly being overlooked. His name is RJ Harvey. So I'll grab him with my first pick to add to this running back room. I'll come back around. I'll double tap a running back, and we'll play the scenario. You know what? What if Pacheco just needs a full year to recover like Tony Pollard did? What if? We'll take Pacheco here all the way at the 13-1.
What if, you know?
Saints burning more money. That's what the Saints do, though. That's the Saints doing the Saints. We're going to change the clock to 30 seconds. By the way, it's just too late in the draft. We don't want this to lag on too long.
Here. You left tackle Laremy Tunsil, huh?
Well, you know what I love about Washington is they're probably going to trade back from their pick. I imagine we trade away our first round pick and get like a second and a third or something this year. I could really see us doing that. And I think
that second was in 26, by the way. I looked that up.
Right. Okay. And I could still imagine us investing in the running back position in this draft.
Yeah.
All right, we get a little run of running backs there. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of obsessed with this team I've drafted here, man.
Should we start a league?
Nah, I gotta be able to commit to it. It's not fair to you guys. I gotta give you my all or nothing.
Team, you know? Normally you say you love a team, you just want to start a league. So I was.
Well, that's redraft when it's only like, you know, there's not as much commitment there.
I was ready.
What's up, Jake? Welcome in, brother. What's up, brother? Welcome in.
How are we feeling, y'all?
I can see that JCM too. Where's that big money league at, Badaki? Yeah, I keep telling Badaki to start it, man, but he wants me to like do all the dirty work for him.
I
He wants me to
do all the dirty work.
commission.
I just want you to be in. I think I thought if I say who would want Zach to be in the league, everyone would say I want Zach to be in the $200 league.
But I think they would all also say, you know what, Badaki is good enough for me to do this league.
I'm not saying they're not. I'm just saying I will also want to play with you in the $200 league, not just them.
Maybe we should do at some point is take all the winners from our dynasty leagues and make a $200 league like the
the winners in there every league.
Yeah,
that would be kind of cool. Super League, some shit like that.
Yeah. Alex says, kind of funny that Elijah Mitchell is coming off not playing for 2 years and is given a bottom tier contract and still makes more than 4 times as much as Pacheco. Which actually is hilarious when you think about it. That is actually really funny. Casey says 200 is a rookie number. How do you feeling about $36 million man on your Giants? Jake's asking you, by the way. I think he's in the copium stage right now. From our
it's not even
conversations.
copium. I'm just saying, like, they didn't give him more money. They just extended his contract. I get it. You could pay Saquon Barkley that, but Saquon Barkley is getting us an extra win or two. He's not changing the franchise. Neither is Darius Slayton. Darius Slayton was already making 12 million a year already. So whether it was too much. Okay, Chargers reached an agreement with former Steelers running back Najee Harris on a 1-year deal worth $9.5 million.
1 year deal worth how much?
$9.5 million.
Okay, that's definitely not as much as I thought it would be.
I thought it would be either.
Where are you seeing that? I'm not seeing that report. Who sent that out?
Adam Scheffner just now. Adam Scheffner.
Who's Adam Scheffner?
You know who I'm talking about.
Okay, let's see. Adam Scheffner. No, I'm kidding. All right, Chargers reach a deal with Najee Harris on a 1-year deal worth $9.5 million. How much did they sign Gus Edwards for last year? What was the Gus Edwards deal last year?
I'm pretty sure it was like 4. No?
Yeah, I was thinking like 6, so you could be right. What was his contract last year? It was a 2-year, $6 million deal. And they cut him.
They cut him.
They cut him after the first year.
So Najee to the Chargers on a 1-year deal doesn't mean they can't draft a running back still. It depends on if they keep JK.
Yeah.
If they do keep Jake, I think if they sign Najee to this deal and then they give JK another year contract.
How much money do they want to spend on the running back position though? That's really bad team building. I think I could definitely see. I could definitely see them bring they'd be the perfect fit for Trayvon Henderson round 2 now. You know what I mean? The Najee and Henderson combo could be great. They make a little less sense for like a Caleb Johnson now. A Daniel Martinez, these type of profiles. So
yeah, I mean, if you think of Harbaugh's history, especially in Michigan, he had Edwards and Corm, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. In some of his best days, Samson would be a good compliment as well to Najee. That is true. Yeah, Hampton to Pittsburgh. You know what? That's fair. When one door closes, another opens. So yes, the Chargers. I don't think the door's closed, by the way. But now Pittsburgh is like we need someone. We need a running back now.
Yeah. What pick do they have?
Tootin and Najee would be nice too. That's true.
Steelers have the 21st pick, so that's a nice middle of the pack for a Marion or another running back.
Or they could go round 2.
Or round 2, yeah. Round 2, they have pick. They don't have a second round pick actually.
Oh, why? What was
they gave it to the Seahawks. I don't know how or why.
Right for DK Metcalf, no.
Oh yes, so it's either gonna be a first round running back or third round running back.
Yeah, third round I think could still be some great options for them there.
Now thinking about it, they get third round or they keep JK, because JK, I just looked up, had a 1 year contract last year, 1.6
Well, you're now thinking about two different teams, my friend.
I am thinking about two different. Well, no.
Yeah.
JK's on the Chargers, brother.
Yes, but we're talking about the Steelers, my friend.
Yes, we're talking about the Steelers now, but I'm thinking about what the Steelers are gonna do. Sorry, the Chargers are gonna do.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yes, I get what you're saying.
Well, Seattle has Pittsburgh's second round pick, so they could draft a running back. Imagine Seattle picks Omar and Hampton, pick 52. Oh my god. Dude. I would lose it. I would
actually what's that, 3 years in a row?
Well, they didn't do it last year, to be fair.
They didn't do it last year, but nearly 3 years in a row where they take a running back in the second round.
Could you imagine the outrage?
At the same exact pick as well. 50, what was it? They were both 52. One was 54, something like that.
Yeah. We by the way, we've been talking about it. Like, typically each year we go live on our redraft channel, and we just do a reaction stream. It's been really fun. Some of the most iconic moments I think we've ever had have come from that stream. For example, if you guys were there when Washington drafted Emmanuel Forbes over Christian Gonzalez, that moment will go down in infamy. I don't think I've ever spazzed out as much as I did on the live stream when that happened. But I mean, I can even remember back to last year's when Michael Penix was taken. I was speechless, and we were just reacting together. It's not some crazy production or anything. It was just like fun, you know, just banter watching it. And in fact, if I go to, where is it? Here it is.
We've been doing it for a while. We did it for, I know when Washington took Jamin Davis.
Do we want to watch this? Hold on. Okay, this is the reaction when Michael Penix was taken last year.
Raheem Mostert.
Here's my take on the situation, and it's exactly what I said before the pick was made when we talked about if they were to take quarterback, this would be why, and that's because of the Packers' way. Remember, the Packers a couple years ago took Jordan Love in the first round. They had Aaron Rodgers on a.
This is the Raheem so. Oh.
Where is it? Trade back or the first defensive player in the draft.
Let's find out.
And by the way, if they go Rome Odunze, that is absolutely awful for everyone who bought Drake London. Worst case scenario. I did buy one share Drake London here, or it's maybe someone trading up.
Are going to stick at 11.
That before? A couple years behind a veteran. Make a pick.
Get there.
Okay, hold on. Sorry.
That was right there. Or
did you hear that? Penix here. That would be chaos.
Yeah,
is
they're
it?
saying it's
Sorry,
a done
I'm wasting
deal.
your time. For Roger. Okay, this must be it.
Holy shit.
Yeah, okay, this is it. Okay, here's the Michael Penix pick
Atlanta
live
Falcons
reaction
select.
last year. You ready for this? Here it is.
Holy shit. Bruh. That question, you know what that does to me? That makes me question Kirk Cousins. Is he healthy enough? What's happening? Do they feel comfortable with him? I mean, he is clearly their quarterback, but $100 million to get a backup quarterback, because Kirk Cousins has missed games in the past. That's still wild to me. You pay Kirk Cousins $100 million, kid, and you go draft a guy at top 8. That's wild.
You ever seen the definition of bamboozled? that is bamboozled.
Happening.
Defined.
I know why my image is not up, but that's totally okay. Just letting you know.
I didn't know what to say. I mean, do I say words at any point?
I'm trying to look at freaking Kirk Cousins' contract. What's happening here? Cousins signs a 4-year. Don't draft a sit and develop quarterback. Like, look, this doesn't hurt.
I'm still not saying any
Drake
words.
Cousins. Is Kirk ready for?
I've been really trying to come up with
you drafted a
words.
quarterback in the top. Raheem Mostert,
Kirk
Cousins is not.
here's my
Cousins
take
is
on
not ready.
Okay, so many
Situation.
words are happening at the same time. Hold on.
I've been really trying to come up with words.
Raheem Mostert.
Here's my take on the situation, and it's exactly what I said before the pick was made when we talked about if they were to take quarterback, this would be why, and that's because of the Packers' way. Remember the anyway, that was funny. I still think the funniest reaction ever was when Washington took Emmanuel Forbes over Christian Gonzalez. I don't think you'll ever see a spaz out like that before. But
Zach was like, "Oh, it's Christian Gonzalez. It's Christian Gonzalez." He was like, "There's no way he's falling. There's no way he's falling." He was like, "This is perfect.
Yeah,
it's Christian." Emmanuel Forbes. What?
That was the biggest crash out I think I've ever had in my life. And then everyone's like, "You got to trust your organization. You have to trust your GM. You got to trust your coach." I'm like, "Do you know who our coach is? Do you know who our GM is? Talk about trust." That was an all-time crash out. I wonder if I can find that reaction because that was hilarious. Here, I think I found it.
what I wanted to do is before Casey says someone's team is trading back out of the first round.
Okay, hold on. Let me find it.
This is pure. What is going on?
Yeah, Danny, we saw Najee to the Chargers. We kind of broke it down a little bit right before
Will
this little
McDonald was
talkie
the
that
pick.
happened, but yes, we did see that.
Washington, historically, not the best decision makers.
Should be interesting for the Chargers.
Okay,
there.
I have the Emmanuel Forbes reaction. You want to see this?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, we'll stop wasting your time after this.
Yes.
Washington, historically, not the best decision makers. Typically, awful decisions across the board. Do I anticipate we take Christian Gonzalez? No, because we're stupid. We have no idea what the hell we're doing in that front office. Okay, that would be my dream pick, Christian Gonzalez. He should not be available right now. Okay, worst pick would be Will Levis. Do not give me fucking Will Levis. My least favorite quarterback in the entire draft. I've never had a first round grade on him. He's falling. Other NFL teams feel the same. Do not take Will Levis. Worst case scenario, Will Levis.
He's in already, by the way.
Okay. I will also accept. Honestly, there's not an offensive lineman that I want anymore.
Steven said, "Imagine Hooker." That's another guy.
No. Don't put that out there. I rebuke that. Give me Christian Gonzalez. Here's what I'm happy with: Dalton Kincaid, Christian Gonzalez. I'll take Michael Mayer. Yeah. And honestly, I know it sounds crazy, but I wouldn't be upset about Nolan Smith or Deontay Banks. Okay. Happy with Deontay Banks, Nolan Smith, because we have some questions about paying our edge rushers next year. Christian Gonzalez, Kincaid, all great options. Worst case scenario, Will Levis. Do not hit me with some Will Levis bullshit right here, Washington. I swear. Please don't do it. Please do not do this to me.
Some Will Levis bullshit, Washington. Here we go. Oh boy, an old pick. I haven't looked just so I can see your. I'm not gonna look. I feel like they're making the jersey right now. Imagine this at any point in time.
Please don't fuck this up.
Oh man, I want to ruin it so
begging
bad.
him not
He's sitting in our lap. He's sitting in our lap. But Aki, don't even hint as to what it could be. If you see it, don't even hint at like, or like a gasp, or I don't want anything, please.
I haven't even touched my phone yet.
Please don't fuck this up, please. For once in your life. For once in your life, please. He's sitting right there.
We're back.
You've been handed a gift.
I'm not looking at the chat. It looks like Will Levis didn't get a call yet.
Yeah, no way he didn't call. Yeah, he got a call from from Lowe's and the Home Depot. They're trying to hire a business manager.
Hire a business manager.
That's disrespectful, bro.
No, I mean he make more money than you
right
the
now.
The Patriots on the clock here.
Sorry, guys. I thought
Tell
this
me
would be funny.
what you really,
I
really
mean,
want.
you know why it's taking a long time?
wanna-
Because
I wanna-
Gonzalez is a long last name, right? They got to get all the stitches.
I feel sick. We're gonna fuck this up.
Okay, he's coming up. Okay, okay.
Okay, here we go.
Oh no! Roger, don't say anything. Just pause time. Oh god. Commander select. Oh fuck. Are you fucking kidding me? What the fuck?
Sorry, that's not. Hi, Blazy.
What the fuck are we doing? He's
Emmanuel
166
Forbes.
pounds.
With freaking Christian Gonzalez.
He's 166 pounds. You had Christian Gonzalez right in front of you. Shit. I fucking hate this franchise.
And that's not even
Fuck.
with Dan Snyder. That's terrible. I'm so sorry. I should be laughing. This is terrible. Look, you could have got. I don't understand why they didn't get. What's wrong with Christian Gonzalez right now that he's falling so far? That's the real question.
Who
That's
the
the
fuck
real
is drafting someone who's 166 pounds in the first round? I'm almost 166 pounds. You want to draft me?
The pick is in for the Raiders. I mean, for the Patriots. So quick. So quick
fuck,
here for the
man?
Raiders. I mean, for the Patriots. I don't know why I keep saying Raiders. So quick. The pick is in for the Patriots. Hella quick. Chris Gonzalez. Welcome,
Fucking
ladies and gentlemen.
joke.
Welcome. That means the line's on the clock right now. Joe.
He fell in our laps, man. He was right there. All you had to do was make the pick. You didn't even have to trade up. Fuck. This
Anyway.
Forbes shouldn't even go in the first round.
Okay.
I mean,
Patriots
same way that
just
Jamin
feel-
Davis
it
shouldn't
feel-
have gone in the
it feels
first round
like the
2 years
conversation
ago.
Afterwards, when like Christian
we go,
Gonzalez
here we
goes
go.
to the Patriots.
Yeah.
Fucking idiots.
Sorry for the swearing. I was not in a good
Patriots select Christian Gonzalez. Fuck me sideways. Fuck this shit.
I didn't know what to say. That was cool. I mean,
Oh my god.
I don't know what to say. I mean, don't know what to say. I don't understand why they didn't go Christian Gonzalez. There's clearly
Anyway, so we might do that again this year. Is all I'm saying. But hey, can we take a moment and applaud ourselves? Like, there's not a single thing you just heard that we were wrong on. I was like, don't you give me Will Levis? He should work at Lowe's. Well, he's not a starter anymore, is he? So don't give me Emmanuel Forbes. He's not worth the first round pick. Talked about Jamin Davis. I mean, wanting Christian Gonzalez. I mean, hey, NFL Network, hit me up, baby. Okay, we know what we were talking about. All right. Anyway, that was really fun. I had a lot of fun doing that with you guys. So we'll probably do that again this year. Would you guys want us to do that again this year? You know, we'll probably do it on the redraft channel to kind of spark things, but you know, it's fun. There's no like, you know,
crazy
there's no like
production or
special
anything.
production or
Yeah, we're just here. We're hanging with you guys, reacting.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you'll get a good reaction from me because I have a top pick this year again.
yeah.
Or maybe not.
So, yeah, it was very, very fun. Those someone said Dan Snyder can't hurt you no more. I think he can't, but I just don't know for sure. But yeah, we'll probably do that again for fun. Low effort, hangout type of thing. But guys, this was a lot of fun. It was fun doing the startup, and I will say in the next week or so, I'll have updated wide receiver and running back rankings out on the channel, and I'll need to wait until free agency is done, obviously, because we need to kind of finalize these rankings after free agency is going to change a lot of things. But what we do need to do is go to the second part of today's stream, which is reviewing people's dynasty teams. So we have a little bit of a queue here of people, and we're going to make sure and do everything we can to honor them for obviously signing up and supporting the channel. Okay. So if you're out there and, we're going to be reviewing a bunch of teams, giving away some playbooks, and let's say, you're watching this and you want to kind of join the family, support the channel, and also get, this playbook as well. You might be asking, what is the playbook? Well, playbook is a customized game plan for your offseason, right? Customized trade targets, just a game plan for your specific league. Become a land annual Mother Flocker member to get a voucher, or you can sign up just through the a la carte store. Regardless of what promo code you're using, just get that live version if you want it done live. And I will say right now, it is very important to get the live tier if you want it done live, because we do have a little bit of a queue forming up. So unless you want it specifically offline, definitely target the online version, the live tier. It's only $10 more to prioritize yourself on the stream. But yeah, we're going to, again, become an annual Mother Flocker member with the promo code LAND, or you can purchase a team playbook through the Flock Fantasy site, regardless of what promo code you're on. Please DM us if you have any questions. You can ask us any questions here. But shout out to everybody who's signed up and showing some love. We are going to go to Beans, who originally had an offline playbook, but then came here and said, I'd like to upgrade.
Big boy Beans, huh?
So we have his upgrade here, which is fantastic. And let's have a look at his team. Let's get his playbook out here. Beans is 158 code, and it's a 1 quarterback, 10 team start 8. Is that what he says as well? One quarterback. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it is still 8.
Some meat and potatoes.
Okay.
All right.
Wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think it's actually a start 9. So it's a start 9. So let's keep that in mind, okay? 1 quarterback start 9, which makes his starting lineup the middle ground. But let's go ahead and transition to these team reviews here and get started with Bean. Go ahead and read his submission there.
Yeah, appreciate you, Beans. Thank you so much for the support. Sorry, every time I see Twitter, I'm just Byron Murphy. Okay.
Yeah, Byron Murphy to the Vikings back there again.
All right, Beans. Appreciate you, big boy Beans. If you know who I'm talking about. Second year doing Dynasty, watching your guys' videos helped me to try and not be a scrub. I was 6th place to year 1, then year 2 finishing 4th. Most of my leagues are kind of hard to trade with, need to overpay a little. Thanks for taking the time to review my team. That's
cool.
All right. Pinto.
Okay, so his name is Beans, and his team name is Pinto. And my dog is named Beans, so I'm loving this so far. It's a 1.5 tight end premium, but it's a non-PPR. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah, standard league.
Okay, so team number 3 here.
Yeah, right.
Go ahead and read out that team when you have a second.
Yeah, Josh Allen, Drake May, Bryce Young, Joe Milton. Great quarterback room, especially with the depth that you have with Drizzy and Bryce. You have to set and forget, which is great. Josh Jacobs, Kyron Williams, and the list goes on there. In a standard league with the opportunities and touches that Josh Jacobs get, and that's exactly what you want. I guess the same could be said with Kyron Williams because he scores a lot of touchdowns. At the wide receiver position, Malik, Nico, Ayuk, Chris Olave, Michael Pittman, and the list goes on there. I think it's a good wide receiver room as well with Dalton. Not that much tight end, Dalton, Otten, and Ben Sinnott with the 103, 107, and the 2026 first as well, which is also pretty good.
It's a good team. Not much on the waiver wire. Your starting lineup right now, if it's a start 9, would be Allen, Jacobs, Kyron, Neighbors, Collins, Kincaid, Ayuk, Olave, And then you need to find one more. So that will probably either be like Pittman or Tajay, Rashad, Eckler, one of those names. The good news is with that kind of draft capital, we can definitely find a couple more flex options in this class. This to me feels like a strong contender.
Yeah.
If we're looking at pathways and we're thinking through that, I'd say strong contender pathway for this team here. This team is definitely ready to go into the playoffs, make some noise as long as we get some of these picks right.
Yeah, agreed.
So every move we make is going to be thinking about, let's try and, go out there and really compete this year. I think you could add both to the running back and wide receiver room. You definitely need to add to this running back room. And then if you don't go wide receiver, tight end is an option because it's that big premium. So overall team grade, I put it at B flat.
Yeah, we could put B.
Draft capital grade, I would say, kind of hovering around the same B flat, B plus maybe.
Yeah.
That's good. You've got your future picks, which is great. So you're not sold in. If it doesn't work out this year or injury bug hits you, you can still retool in 2026. Your untouchables will be Malik Neighbors. There's not really another untouchable on this team. Holds on this team. Ayuk for sure. Olave. I think both of these guys make sense as holds. Kincaid. Pittman as well. I mean, all these guys are holds purely because their value doesn't match what they can do for you. So, and then as far as drops, if you need to drop anyone, you can drop Herbert. In a one quarterback league, you can probably drop Joe Milton, but you can add, Keaton to that list if you need more space, or Eckler if they sign someone.
Yeah, let's do Keaton Mitchell.
But let's head to the chalkboard here. So we said we want to add a running back and a tight end or a wide receiver. The good news is this class is stacked full of great options at both of those positions. Right at the 103, Hampton could be an option. Henderson could be an option. Judkins. These names are all potentially options depending on how the NFL draft goes. You come down to the 107, in a one quarterback. Yeah, I mean, some of these names might still be available. Like Burden could fall, Johnson could fall. You could double tap running back if you wanted. But I think the other option in a tight end premium, if they're available here, which they may not, is those tight ends, right? Like one of these names could give you a nice little advantage in a tight end premium. But you could also try and hit an Elijah Arroyo at the end of the second instead.
Yeah, that's good.
Or any of these running backs are great depth pieces. The Trey Harris, the Iowa State boys, the Higgins, and the Knowles are all great options. So, hypothetically, let's say you come away with Hampton, then you grab Loveland, and then you come back and you grab, Trey Harris, for example. Hampton, Loveland, Trey Harris. I mean, that's a pretty good haul for this team. Hampton now becomes your RB3. You have a legitimate upside tight end in Loveland and a 1.5 tight end premium, which is huge considering your league is non-PPR, right? As long as you submitted these settings correctly. Regardless, it's big because there's a tight end premium no matter what.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you come back and you add Trey Harris as a depth piece for your wide receiver room. I think that's incredible. In fact, I'm not really sure I want to sell any of these picks. I kind of believe they're all positioned really well for this team.
Pretty well. Yeah, I agree. One thing I was going to say, in a standard league, I wonder if some of these running backs are going to be pushed up the board a little bit more. So maybe at the 107, obviously the Ashtons, Omarions, the Travions, Quinshawn, Judkins, the Calebs are potentially all gone in the standard league if the capital is there. So at that 107, you could be looking more at like the Luther Burdens or one of these tight ends, which is really going to set you up there because you're guaranteed one of the top 5 running backs at the 103, and then just continue to build off there at the 107 with whatever is left for you.
You could potentially see the opposite as well, where these tight ends, because the premium, go before the 107. And then you're with Henderson and Judkins at the 107 as options too, which I don't mind double tapping running back in this league with no PPR either.
Yeah,
but
agreed.
It's a great place to be in. I don't really think that your team needs a bunch of depth, so I don't want to tear down from the 103 or anything. And I think you have enough really good veterans that we don't necessarily want to sell these picks for players. We can look at like potential options just for him. If he did want to go the route of, trade for a veteran, which again, not exactly my desired outcome there, but let's look at that in a second. Is there any players on this team that we want to move off from?
I mean, the only person I'll be interested in moving off of is Michael Pittman, but there's no value there, unfortunately.
No. What about moving off of one of Kyren or Jacobs to try and get back into this class double? So, for example, if Kyren can net you a top 5 pick or something, like Kyren Williams, and you can get in the range of what is he kind of like? I know KTC isn't great. We use it as a weapon more than a resource. But if we turn off that super flex, I wonder what Kyren is kind of worthy of at the moment. Is he like 106? 106? Okay, 105.
105, 106 area.
104 maybe in some leagues. Okay. So that 104 to 106 range would be really interesting. Let's look at those teams real fast. Who has the 106? Because I think we might be able to net more than... So like the 106, 206, or the 106 Debo,
Yeah. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
And then we can send them Kyren Williams and Rashad White or something.
Yeah.
Like that kind of idea there. Instead of Debo, you can make it Sutton or the 206, something like that,
Yeah, I agree.
And then that gives you the ability to build around Josh Jacobs, but get 2 young running backs that will probably get great draft capital to kind of reset the clock a little bit there. Who has the 105? I think it's more going to be the 105 straight up.
See if I can find the 105.
And the 104 is probably going to be more straight up too.
105, 2 girls, 1 cup. And the 104 is Team 7.
Yeah.
Gilvin Nation, I think that's how you say it.
So 104 is maybe more doable. I wonder if we could find our way into Ricky Pearsall. So the 104 plus Ricky Pearsall, and what we'll do is we'll send you Kyren Williams and let's do a combo of like Michael Pittman and Rashad White or something.
Yeah, I like that.
And then if you can do the 105 straight up or the 104 straight up, like even if you can just do the 104, it's ideal, right?
Yeah.
Because these are 2 running backs that, Blake Corum, his role could increase in year 2. We've seen Sean McVay do that often with his players, giving them a bigger role after a year. Jacobs, they could have a complimentary name. They've liked to complement their backfield for a long time, but injuries stopped that from the last year happening. So let's just get 2 young infused running backs there. I don't think there's another obvious sell on this team.
I agree.
Tajay, I will just say, if you can get any second in any year, I think it's worth it. Maybe you can send it to the Pollard owner. Who has Pollard?
Team 7.
So yeah, his second in the future season could work. He doesn't really have a second this year, unfortunately. Yeah. I just don't think anyone else is going to get you any value. You could try the same for the Bucky Irving owner. Oh, it's the same guy. Yeah. So, I mean, same idea. If he wants to kind of cover off those names. I really don't want to send the 103, but maybe we can explore the 107 if you wanted to send it away. So that 107 range is really weird for wide receivers. Like
What's that? It's
T.
like
Higgins. Could you do T. Higgins or Rice?
Yeah.
Maybe you could do Rashee Rice plus.
Happy to do Higgins. I'm happy to do Rice. I'm happy to do. I feel like maybe you can do DJ and get more in return.
Okay, let's look at Rice and DJ as options if you can add a plus. So like Rice and the 204 or something. Or if that doesn't work, how about the 208? Some people are really skeptical of Rice. Some people are very in on Rice. So it'll depend on your league. DJ Moore is another name you mentioned, which we can definitely get a plus on as well.
Let's see what DJ's at.
Let's see. DJ Moore. Matthew, we'll get to this super chat right after this team. I promise you. What's up? Daniel says, I just joined. That's my team. What's up? Are you Beans and Daniel? Is that you? Let us know if that's you, my friend.
Yeah, if this is you. Can you also clarify if this is a start 8 or start 9?
As far as DJ goes, there's not really like a happy medium with this team.
Yeah, I don't see one either.
It'd have to be like DJ Moore and CMC, and we'd send the 107 and the 207.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that's your range. I like more the idea of moving Kyron, but I think these picks really complement the needs of your team, man. Like ending with a Hampton, Loveland, Arroyo would be, or Hampton, Loveland, Trey Harris, Jaden Higgins, Jalen Knoll, Samson Smith, one of those names at the 207 would be really advantageous. And just to double check as well, this is a non-PPR, but a 1.5 premium for the tight ends. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Double check with us. It is start 9.
It is start 9. Dude, the 102 said he'd take Travis Hunter, but I don't know how much I trust him.
I really doubt that's going to be true when all is said and done. That sounds like he's just talking.
I mean, if that is true, that means you're guaranteed a Marion or Tet.
Yeah, which is great.
Which would be phenomenal for you.
And probably if you wanted to trade the 103 in your draft, if he takes Hunter, if he actually does it, you'll get more value then than any other time with Hampton and Tet on the board if that happens. But yeah, I'm a big fan of like the we talked about the idea of like the Debo deal. Rice I think is a really good addition for this team. If you can sell Tajay for any second in a year, maybe to the Pollard owner, same for Rachaad White. I'm a big fan of that idea as well. So those are the main moves, but yeah, I like the overall idea of like sticking and picking with your picks with your current team and its needs and what the draft has to offer. But if you wanted to switch it up, the 107 is a movable piece. Rice in the 208 will be a great fit for you. Yeah, Daniel, as far as Pittman goes, we talked about that a little bit earlier, but I would say we both kind of are in agreement that we don't really want to hold Pittman, but you can't get anything for him. Yeah. Like, what are you going to get? The 209? You might as well hold him. He becomes a hold simply because he's worth nothing right now. So he's one of those names where you probably want to sell, but nobody wants to buy. So it's just not worth selling.
I completely agree.
But yeah, definitely make sure to go back and watch. But if you have any pressing questions now, let us know before we go on to the next one, the next team review here. But as Badaki always says, your playbook will be completely customized and filled out to everything we talked about today and sent to you within 72 hours. But of course, this is your time to shine. So we're here. We want you to feel happy with the review. And any questions you have, this is your moment to kind of get them answered. And if you guys are out there while we're waiting on him to ask us any last minute questions, you want your team playbook, you want the review, you want the playbook. Playbook is a customized game plan for your offseason specifically, right? Your team, right? What to do with your league, specific draft, specific trade targets, what to do with your draft capital. Become a land annual Mother Flocker member. You'll get a voucher for an offline playbook, or you can go to the Flock store directly, purchase one, regardless of what promo code you're on. And again, regardless if you get the free voucher or you purchase one a la carte, if you want it live, make sure you get the live tier. That link is in the pinned comment, flockfantasy.com/land. Becoming an annual member is the best bang for your buck. Not only do you get the team playbook and the live review, you get the rookie report. Version 3 is out on the website. Free trade question vouchers with us, our complete rankings, premium tools and databases, and all the rookie reports, draft guides on the website. So, and by the way, when you get your yearly membership, you'll have a voucher in your account. You still go through the same process as an a la carte purchase, but you'll have a voucher that is there for your account. Daniel says, appreciate the work y'all do. Who do you prefer between Loveland and Warren, or it depends on landing spot? I do think it really depends on the landing spot. A popular spot we've heard is Tyler Warren to the Jets and Loveland to the Broncos, Loveland to the Chargers, Tyler Warren to the Saints. In that scenario, Tyler Warren's going earlier. I just don't care. I prefer to be in those offenses. I already like Loveland a little bit more as a receiving threat. So I'll probably go, depending on landing spot and draft capital, will be the ultimate determinator.
Yeah, I completely agree. Just depends on preference and who you like and who you believe in, whichever offense they do land in. But thank you so much, Danny. We really appreciate you, man.
Yeah, definitely appreciate you big time, my friend. Was a fun team to review. Awesome. Well, we appreciate you, Daniel. I am glad to know that you are happy with your review. That's what we want to. We want it to come down to when we finish these reviews for you guys. All right, next review here is from Mark Linsane. All right. Whenever you're ready, go ahead.
All right. Mark, thank you so much for the support. And
Mark makes me think of Invincible, by the way. I'm watching Invincible right now, and that's all I can think about is Mark.
The new season's not out, is it?
Yeah, absolutely. We're in the midst of it, brother.
The third season?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I haven't even kept up. I was waiting for an announcement, but
yeah, no, it's out.
Wait, for real?
That's right. Yeah, we've been watching it every week. It's such a good season right now for movies and TV shows, and everything is piling up right now, which is great to see.
All right, I'm gonna have to binge that later out.
Yeah.
But anyways, this is a super flex meat and potatoes league, start 9. And you are in a 12-team league here, and your name is Buck Nasty. You have the 101, the 105, the 110, the 201, and I am a 1-year punt or a sleeper this year? ? He says. All right, we'll have a look at this.
Yep.
At the quarterback position, Patrick Mahomes, Trevor Lawrence, Danny Jones, and the list goes on there. So you have Patty and Trevor, not the strongest QB3, unfortunately, but we'll have a look at the rest of the team. At the running back position, Wright and Kendre, but you do have the 101 and the 105 like you did mention. This is a start 9, so a smaller league. That means you can start up to 4 wide receivers. You have Rome, Ayuk, Pickens, Jacoby Myers, and really that's it. But once again, you do have the draft capital potentially get in Emeka Egbuka, Luther Burden, whatever that looks like, with Jonnu Smith, Benson, and that's it. You do have 2 firsts and 26, which is good. And you're asking if you are a
sleeper.
I guess we could jump into that.
Or
a 1-year punt or a sleeper.
A 1-year punt. And, you can see on our pathways here, a sleeper is more you're playing with house money, still probably young, focused, but anything can happen. And you don't have to, be focused on, fully rebuilding if your team's ready to compete. And the 1-year punt is more, let's think about the next season. I just wanted to quickly mention we didn't do Matthew's super chat, so let's quickly do that. I told him we would do it right after the last one. It says, this is urgent. That's why I'm here. 12-team super flex. Give Mahomes plus a late third for McCarthy and Chuba, or Mahomes for Richardson, 105, 107. Okay.
12-team super flex. Give Patrick Mahomes and a late third for JJ and Chuba, or Mahomes for Richardson, the 105, 107.
I feel like you should be able to get more than McCarthy and Chuba. I feel like it should be McCarthy, Chuba, and a late first. Now, Mahomes for Richardson and the 105 and the 107 is pretty intriguing to me.
That is intriguing. I like that deal better overall.
Yeah.
I do agree you should be able to get more.
Yeah. And, of course, if you're competing, you probably prefer to keep Mahomes here, considering you already have the 102, 110, 112 if you have a complete roster. But I will say Richardson and those 2 picks is way more attractive than McCarthy and Chuba. And it's not because we don't love McCarthy and Chuba. I do. I just think the counter to that would be like another 111, or 109. So that would be my opinion on that. I think Richardson's the better deal, but I want to go with McCarthy and Chuba if I can counter that and get a future first on top of it, or something like that. Okay. So I think if we think about this, a lot's going to have to go right for this to be a sleeper team. But I think you're going to be playing this as a 1-year punt. But if you happen to start winning games, you can lean into it.
Yep.
That's the way I would look at this team. And maybe what we need to do is actually think through this draft capital and then make a good call on this. So why don't we kind of start there? I know we typically don't start like with the draft capital, but maybe that will answer the most pressing question here from Mark. Because once we kind of think through this draft capital and what we would be able to do with it, it kind of helps us shape the team and really think about what might be possible this year. So at the 101, of course, you're going to take Ashton Genty. You have no running backs at all to talk about. At the 105, you probably want to double tap running back with this team. Let's say Henderson.
Agreed.
Okay, like Judkins, Henderson, Hampton. And then at the 110, it could be Igbuka maybe.
Be a tight end.
A tight end, one of these names.
Ways.
At the 112, it's basically whoever's left over from that first round. Caleb Johnson, Sanders, Igbuka, Loveland, Warren. I mean, let's say Sanders falls because he seems to be falling. At the 208, you're more just kind of, trying to go BPA, which might be one of these running backs, for example. I think this is still 1-year punt.
I think so as well, because you have to really lean on some of these guys to hit and compete instantly.
Yeah, you have no depth at running back whatsoever. So you need Genty and at least Henderson to both hit.
And you're still
possible,
thinking about,
not guaranteed.
You're still thinking about Rome and what his role is going to look like, which we do believe he should take a big step. Is Brandon, are you going to be healthy? George Pickens now has DK Metcalf.
I think there's too many question marks here to say that this is a sleeper. I think this is still a 1-year punt.
I agree.
So I think that's probably the direction we're going to lean. But because it's a start 9, and because you already have pretty decent draft capital, like next year you have an additional first and a second, I don't think you need to tear down from these picks because it's already a start 9 Superflex. That's quite small. But we're probably still looking towards a future year. The 105, maybe you can trade down. If you can stay, in that top 7, we can look at that. Let's look at these two options, the 106 and the 107. Who has the 106? Let's have a little look here.
Let's have a look.
Okay, the 106 is Pierce them TDs.
Oh boy, nice.
It's not really like a ideal move here. I mean, they have Herbert. Could we send them Lawrence? Could we get Herbert? Could we send you Trevor Lawrence and the 208? Would you do that? Maybe the 301 you try first?
105 plus Lawrence, 301 for the 106 and Herbert. Yeah, we can definitely try that.
Get a little more secure at your quarterback too. I don't think there's much flexibility outside of that. Let's look for the 107. Okay, Live Hard Dynasty. So the 107 would be more like aiming towards those seconds, which I don't know that we really need to do because we already have a lot of picks and we want quality over quantity. So, yeah, I don't think there's really a trade there with the 107. So I think if you're going to do it, if you're going to tear down, it's got to be like a Herbert focused deal. But otherwise, I think you should kind of stay with where you are. If anything, I wouldn't be opposed to trading up, honestly, with the amount of capital that you have. Like, for example, the 201 plus the 208, can that get you the 106? You know, can that get you the 107? If you made it 301, probably not as attractive, right? But then you go down, it's like, okay, can I get the 108 if I send the 201 and the 301? You know, like those kind of deals, I think, to package up because you have so many assets already and it's a smaller league. But because we are focusing on a one-year punt, that means that George Pickens, Jacoby Myers, Jonnu Smith are all movable. So I said Jacoby Myers. I said George Pickens. I said Jonnu Smith. These are all names that, you know, you can probably move in season a little bit easier. Look, I mean, I'll still sell you the pipe dream. Any first in any year for Pickens, I think I would take. But it's very unlikely you get that done. I'd love to know, actually, on KTC's site, where does the community currently have Pickens amongst other wide receivers? So they have him in like, yeah, okay, so like Olave. If we can find our way to Olave, Waddle, Pearsall, you know. Now Pickens could be moved, so definitely interesting to think about. But if you can pivot to a Waddle, you know, you can pivot to Jameson Williams. You can pivot to a Chris Olave we saw as almost equivalent. You know, that kind of range. Ricky Pearsall. I wonder if you could get like Pearsall plus. Honestly, I doubt you could. But is there some small pick swap we can do for the Pearsall team? So they got DK Metcalf. This is probably not going to work. But the 302, yeah, I doubt that's going to work. You could try straight up. As far as Jacoby Myers goes, you know, Geno Smith is a great addition for this team. I'd say any mid-second in any year feels safe to me. And then Jonnu Smith, any late second in any year. And, of course, this is in season, assuming he's going to have 60 to 70% of the role he had this year, where he won people leagues. So, again, I think that's kind of your pathway. Your Myers, Pickens, Smiths are the names that you can try and sell. But to me, the holds on this team would be Odunze, Ayuk, Brenton Strange now. They could still bring in another name, by the way. Like Evan Ingram. After Evan Ingram, they could still bring in another name. Jalen Wright. Those are all really strong holds. On your bench, I definitely think you could add Audric Estime. He's definitely worth an add. I'd probably prefer De'Ami Brown over Jahan Dotson at this point. Yeah. Drops on this team. You know, Jahan Dotson is a droppable name. Tyrod Taylor's a droppable name. Jimmy G's droppable. Again, if you need to clear space for these guys. Those are all droppable names. There's not really an untouchable here. I'd say the untouchable is your future first-round picks, as well as the 101. Overall team grade, look, I think with the capital grade is A+. You got great draft capital. Overall team grade, I think you still got a little whiles to go, so maybe like C+. If these draft picks hit, I think you're better than a C+, but C+ feels right. Last thing I can think of is trying to tear down from Mahomes. So let's look for a quarterback needy team that's competing. So, for example, this team has J.J. McCarthy. That's actually a really ideal tear down target right now, I'd say, with people still being a little bit skeptical. So let's say JJ McCarthy plus that 104. I mean, I feel comfortable with that. I'd also say you could try and sneak in that 111 or that 112 as well. And what you could do is send away your 208 you have, right? Yeah, your 208. Could that get you there with the first offer? Yeah, I like that option. That 104 could be a very impactful pick, and you don't even need McCarthy to start this year, right? Because of the punt that we're doing. So McCarthy's a great option. Who else? Let's see. On Stroud 9. Yeah, you can't really tear down to these names, I don't think. Don't want to go to Geno. Baker, we could do Baker. I just don't know what sort of return you can really expect. Wow, your league is very imbalanced at quarterback. JJ is probably your best tier down team. Bryce Young, Bryce Young in the 102. Totally would be comfortable with that. I mean, we can even send back the 208 and the 301 there to get that done. I think those are your main options. The rest, I mean, you know, Penix is also a great option, but I just don't know what you're going to do here. Like, is it Penix, Pearsall? Is that enough? It's just not a great fit. Yeah, Stroud is not a bad option. Look, I kind of view them in the same tier, but if you can tear down, I mean, the issue is you're definitely not going to get the 103. And then you're not going to get Ladd McConkey. McMillan's not enough to make the move. It's just not an incredible fit. So, yeah, those are all the moves that I would probably make. I'm a huge fan of the McCarthy deal and a tier down from Mahomes. You know, we talked about tearing down from the 105 to the 106 to going to Herbert. We talked about tearing up with your seconds because you have so many good seconds. We talked about trying to move off of Pickens for Pearsall. I like all of those moves a lot in this 1 year punt. I'm going to catch Badaki up real fast so he knows everything we've talked about. All right, you ready for the admin?
Ready for the admin.
Holds are Adunze, Ayuk, Strange, Kendre, or Jalen Wright, sorry.
Okay, Jalen Wright, Kendre.
No, Jalen Wright, Adunze, Ayuk,
Yeah.
Strange, Brenton Strange.
Okay, Brendan Strange.
Drops are Jahan Dotson, Tyrod Taylor, Jimmy G.
Yeah, that's it.
You know, if he wants, he can drop more. Untouchables is the 101 and his future first round pick.
Yeah.
Overall team grade, I believe I gave a C+, but the draft capital grade I gave an A+.
A+,
And then
A+.
I'll just remind him again, I would add Audric Esme off the waiver wire. And I would add De'Ami Brown off the waiver wire for Jahan Dotson if you wanted to. Overall team grade, I said, yeah, so we should be good on admin, right?
Yeah, it should be good. Appreciate
Okay,
you,
cool.
Mark. Thank you so much. You should be receiving your playbooks. I wasn't here in the next 72 hours. In the Flock Fantasy message system, customized to all of the information we drilled for you here today. Thank you so much for the support, man. Okay.
Yes, appreciate you big time, my friend. All right, on to Linked Nova here.
Linked Nova, appreciate you, Linked Nova. Is this the Linked Nova or just another?
This is
Linked
the
Nova?
Linked Nova, as an
Okay.
OG.
Yeah, because there's a lot of Linked Novas we've seen the past couple of days, so I just wanted to clarify. But all right, this is a 2-quarterback, 12-team start 11. So this is rolling deep here.
It's a big boy lineup.
This is a big boy lineup here. This is once again 12-man league, and here's the context. He says need to rebuild. I did try to sell Ridley, Mooney, and Mason in season, and no one was biting. Unfortunately, took Brooks in the last off season, while also trading away Chan for a late, for the 111 and the 211. Someone is interested in Olave for around the 110. Punt everything into 2026, 2027. Thanks, guys. Okay, no worries. Sorry, I'm just reading.
Okay. So he is trying to rebuild here. Someone is interested in Olave around the 110. Okay. Linked Nova is the team name as well, and he is currently 9th.
Yeah, currently 9th out of 12.
So, yeah, I can see why he needs to rebuild. We do not have much here to write home about right now. Go ahead and read his team. Remember, depth is very important in a league like this. Start 11. So keep that in mind here. Go ahead.
Yeah, Drake made Trevor Lawrence, Russell Wilson, the list goes on. They're decent quarterbacks for sure to build around in the future. Young quarterbacks. The running back, like you said, you drafted Jonathan Brooks, and then really no one else, which is unfortunate. At the wide receiver position, you can start up to 6 wide receivers. Olave, Jerry, McMillan, Shakira, Keon, Mooney, Alvin, the list goes on there. Not the strongest wide receiver room, with some good high upside pieces, and not the strongest tight end room either. But you do have 1, 2, 3 first round picks in 2025, and I see 1 first round pick in 2026.
Yeah.
This is yeah.
So let's think about his starting lineup as currently constructed. All right. May, Lawrence, ghost running backs right now. Olave, Judy, Komet, and then we still need to find a way to start 4 more names, which would be McMillan, Shakir, Coleman. I mean, yeah, this is clearly a rebuild.
Yeah, full rebuild. Get Bob up.
It's
Get
clearly
Bob
a
up.
rebuild.
Bring him up.
Bring Bob out. That's funny. I was like, what do you mean? And I quickly realized what you meant. Yes, this is full rebuild. This is complete reset. We're not even thinking about next year, probably. We're thinking about 2026, 2027. Every move we make is about how do we maximize value, So it doesn't matter if you prefer a name like Zay Flowers to Jamison Williams in a deal, right? If you get a future second, you maximize value, right? Overplayed says it's rough for me. This must be you then, Linked Nova. Is this you, Overplayed? Okay, so I love that we have Drake May. I'll say that. As far as the untouchables, I think those are both of your future first round picks. You don't have a real untouchable.
I agree.
But both of your future picks, you should not move for whatever reason. It doesn't matter. As far as holds, if you're telling me you get the 110 for Olave, I'm probably not going to make him a hold. But I do think McMillan is still a hold for a team like this, rebuilding. Shakir might be a sell, honestly, after that contract. Coker's a strong hold. I do like Tyler Algier. Some people have talked about this, and TD actually talked about it as well. There's a chance he could get a shot somewhere else next season.
Next season, yeah. Next season, or right. Say less.
Yeah, and then Bobo, Jake Bobo has become a hold. Oddly enough, what was a meme, he's become a hold because of the DK move. I think they're going to replace him, but yeah. He said someone wants Judy and Shakir for the 203 and the 303. It's in your inbox. That's a very low offer for those two names.
No, thank you.
But I will write this down when we get to that portion so we can see what sort of counter we can come up with for you. But yeah, the 203 and the 303 is about the lowest offer I've seen for those two names so far this offseason. But we will come up with a better counter for you. Okay, as far as drops, if you need to make room, Mike Williams, you're not going to be able to sell him for anything, and he's not a good wide receiver anymore. Huntley, DTR, Emmanuel Wilson, Tanner Hudson, McLaughlin. I mean, you can drop any of these guys. Hyatt if you need room. Burton if you need room. You know, a lot of these guys are droppable. Ali is droppable. Vidal is droppable. Again, if you need room, you can drop as many as you want. Did we give an overall team grade yet? I don't think we did.
We have not.
Honesty is crucial, right? So this feels, at least you're rebuilding, but you have capital. This feels like C-.
Oh, okay.
Because he has 3 firsts this year.
Minus. Yeah, that's fair. Maybe I'm being a bit harsh.
And he has May and Trevor. I would say D plus C- range.
Okay. Yeah, this is C- there. Give you the high end draft capital.
Draft capital grade is more of an A, I'd say.
Yeah. I agree. That's where I'm at there.
And then, of course, we are going full rebuild. Let's head to the chalkboard, shall we? So, this is going to be one of those teams I think we could suggest tearing down and maximizing value. And we will explore that. Now, you can't really tear down from any of your other picks. We will look at options to tear down from the 102. But assuming you were to stick and pick, you know, you're really considering like 3 or 4 names if you stick there. Hampton, McMillan, Burden, Henderson, kind of in that range for us. Towards the back half of the first round, this is super flex, right?
It is super flex.
So, you know, you're kind of in this range where you have the Johnsons, the Ward, Sanders, Igbukas, Golden, Loveland, Warrens. At the early second, you're kind of still in a similar range, but it falls off slightly. And then you're kind of going true BPA with a lot of these down the board. It's hard to say exactly what they're worth at this point, but let's build a hypothetical world where you bring on Hampton, you come back and, you know, you grab Igbuka, who fell, and Shedeur Sanders fell, but he was a first-round pick. At the 202, you know, Matthew Golden is there. He was an early second-rounder or something. And then at the 211, you know, you grab Trey Harris. You grab Arroyo at the 212. You know, this is like a hypothetical potential outcome for you, which is not bad at all. You add Hampton. And maybe you add a running back with, you know, the 211 or something instead of Trey Harris.
Yeah.
But you do add Hampton. In fact, I would say I'd probably prioritize running backs with a good draft capital with these later picks. Like if Cam Scatteraboo goes round 3, I'm probably trying to hit on like these names. The Scataboos, the Tutons, the Harveys, Neils, Sampsons.
Sure.
To kind of try and build that room up. But anyway, you could add a nice little core there, but you're still not competing. You're not even close to competing still. Now, what I would like to do is tear down from the 102, if possible. And we can go all the way from the 103 to the 107. And we'll get to that Judy Shakir trade in a second. But let's look at those teams, shall we? Let's go from the top and try and find teams that have these picks. So the 104s.
104.
Yeah, Django. I'd like to find a way to add Rice to my team. And especially for a punter who he's about to have a suspension and he might not contribute a lot of points to your team. That's actually ideal, I would say. So could you send like the 211 and the 212 for Rice in the 104? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Now, you know your league best. You know if the 211 gets the job done. You know if you have to add the 212. You know if, worst case scenario, you have to send the 202. Right? And then if we did that, we probably would need the 204 back, and then we would still send the 211. So these are like from the most ideal outcomes to the medium to the worst outcome, right? But still acceptable. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Best to worst.
Outside of Rice, I mean, I don't think you could do for McConkey.
No, you can do. The only other thing I thought of is maybe like Ricky, but you still need something more in return, like a big something else.
Yeah, Ricky 204.
Yeah, so Ricky 104, 204.
Yeah, something like that. I would be more interested in if you could make it a future first and then you send that 201, for example. Or
Sure.
even like one of these 112s, you know, and re-roll into a new year with that other pick.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. Well, this guy
112.
is competing, so it's gonna be a late first. I guess it doesn't matter. You're giving up a late first anyway.
Exactly right. Just re-roll and see what happens.
What else we got here?
All right, let's keep looking. Yeah.
106 is the next one. Strappy OG.
So it would be 106.
I think a future first.
Yeah, it'd have to be the 106, the 110, and
Yeah, this guy has Brock Bowers and McBride.
I noticed that. I don't think we need to figure out
Tight end as of yet.
tight end yet, yeah, but I like the idea of like 106, 110 in a future first, and then what we can do is send him the 102 and like the 112, for example.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, maybe you make that the 201. If you can send the 211 and the 212 instead, great, but you know your league better. Okay, the 103 is NFL Young Boys.
Yeah.
And it'd have to be like, I don't really love this.
I don't think there's anything here personally.
What about like Addison, 103 plus Jordan Addison, and then we send the 102 and both of those. It'd really have to be the 201, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Which
And then you just
I'm
say,
not gonna want to give up.
and then you just say, I can get Hampton or McMillan.
Sure.
And do they have like a late second they can send back?
Not really.
Well, you can ask for the 206, and then you send your 212, right? That feels like a pretty fair compromise.
Sure. Sure, we can do that.
Okay.
107 is next.
Ayuda. Yeah, 107 is going to be
107.
tougher.
This guy doesn't have a good team, so this could be an early first if he really wanted to. He has 2 firsts already.
What if
But
we
he's
try
probably
and
already know
go?
he's building.
What if we try and go for one of these quarterbacks to build around? So like send him. Well, this goes without saying. If you can get like JJ McCarthy, plus the 107, and then you have to send. You know, again, what will it cost? Will it just cost those late seconds? Great. Do you need to come out here and send the 201? You know what I'm saying?
Please. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
And then you can actually add like their 210 if you did that. So you can meet them in the middle there a little bit. What's up, Hazelnut? Welcome in.
How you doing, brother? Hope all is well. We have the 105 here as well, which is team 11.
Yep. The
The
only thing that can make sense with this one is a future first.
Yeah.
There's not really anything appealing there, I don't think.
Yeah. Other than that, I think holding that 102. I mean, we gave you a lot of options there. I don't know if I want to sell the 111 and the 112. I mean, obviously these guys.
No, just take shots in a rebuild, right?
Yeah, take shots in the rebuild because you can't really get too much value. You're thinking of the DJ Moores, the Chuba Hubbards, the James Cooks, these guys that are probably already in the beginning of their second contract that you really can't build around in the next 2 to 3, maybe even 4 years. More competing pieces, unfortunately.
I'm just trying to find the 203 so we can see NFL Young Boys trying to get Shakir and Jerry Jeudy off of him. Yeah, I mean the 203 and the 206 is a much more fair offer, I'd say. But I mean, we have seen Shakir go for first round picks. I know that sounds crazy, but we have seen that.
And that's what I think. I would personally rather keep Shakir, let him establish himself. I mean, I personally don't think the Bills going to be a team that's going to be drafting a wide receiver. I could be wrong. I could be extremely wrong, but I think they just paid Josh Allen. They just paid Shakira. They just signed somebody today as well. I forgot who. Probably not a big heavy hitter. They still have Amari, if I'm not mistaken. I think Shakir is a long-term plan, personally. Yeah, they just got Josh Palmer, which is not a big deal, but I mean, he got $12 million. He got what Darius Slayton got. So this, I don't know. Not saying they're not going to draft somebody, but I would rather keep Shakir. I think he's the guy there for them.
Yeah. I'm personally not opposed to a deal like this, like the 203 and the 206. But I definitely understand where you're coming from too.
Yeah, I think he's just going to raise his value, but it's a big risk if they do draft a wide receiver in the first, which if they take a Luther, you're then saying, okay.
Yeah. What about Judy for the 203 straight up? Just sell one of them.
Yeah, I'm Jerry Jeudy is the guy I would want to sell with quarterback in limbo, even if they get a Cam or a Shador. I think I'd still be okay to sell somebody like Jerry.
Yeah. He talks about getting Chris Olave for the 110. I think we're both okay with that. Just re-roll it into an Igbuka, ideally.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I love Olave, but if you can just re-roll that straight into another Igbuka, I don't see a reason not to do that. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as like other assets on your team, like May and Lawrence, I don't think Lawrence is a good time to sell. No running backs are worth selling. Coleman's rather a hold. Maybe Mooney if you can get like ideally Mooney and Ridley.
Yeah.
Mooney, you should be able to get a late second, and ideally the same for Calvin Ridley. But if you don't get that, just hold, because he's probably going to be the number one on a team with Cam Ward. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would hold. Yeah, I would agree. And same thing, you sell these guys at their peak if you possibly can. Mooney's at their peak, even though you probably said you already did. Calvin didn't really have that big of a peak until the second half of the season. No one really wanted to buy him then. Russell Wilson could be interesting to sell for any second or third, depending on how high his value does, go.
Yeah.
But yeah, let us know if you have any other questions, like Nova. This is your time to shine. If you have any other questions, anything we didn't cover.
Yeah. If there's anything we didn't cover well enough, definitely let us know. I think my favorite deals here, I love the Rashee Rice deal. Really, really love that deal for someone who's going to punt this year. Ricky Pearsall as well. I'm a big fan of that idea.
Yeah, I like the Ricky Pearsall.
McCarthy, we talked about.
McCarthy was good. Yeah, and then maybe let's do 105 in the future first, maybe.
Yeah. a lot of ideas here, though.
Yeah.
Where's that 105 in the future first deal?
Scroll down. It's like right before the Shakira trade, or we can do one. Shakira.
Oh yeah. Okay, good.
But that's awesome, man. He says, I'll definitely keep trying. Yeah, I did great. No worries. As always, you should be receiving your customized playbook that we drew up here for you today within the Flock Fantasy message system within 72 hours, Link Nova. But we appreciate you. Thank you so much for the support. As always, longtime member. Thanks, man.
Yes. Let's get to one more, yeah?
Yeah, we can squeeze in one more here.
I think that's what she said. I don't know, but I think that's what she said.
I can't even say what I really want to say because I think it just
maybe she said that. But look, if you guys want your team playbook, which is what a lot of people are getting today, customized trade targets, what to do with your draft capital, a game plan for your offseason, to become a land annual Mother Flocker member, you'll get a voucher, which takes off most of that price. or you can purchase one a la carte, regardless of what promo code you're using. Just make sure you get that live tier, especially right now when the queue is at, its highest. If you want to offline tier is totally fine, right? But that annual voucher, it gets you, or that annual membership, it gets you a voucher that takes the majority of the price off. You just pay, I think, $7 to get it live if you're a member with us. But of course, when you become an annual member, not only do you get that voucher for the playbook and the live review, but you also get our rookie report, which is updating constantly. 2025 rookie report, which is updated last week after the combine. You get a free trade question voucher, start sit voucher, our complete rankings, all the premium tools and databases on the website, everyone's draft guides, right? And of course, you unlock our Discord as well. So feel free to message us with any questions about that. But yeah. Again, flockfantasy.com/land, become an annual member is the best bang for your buck, or you can purchase one a la carte. And when you become an annual member, you get a voucher. You'll still go through the a la carte process, but you'll get a voucher that takes off the majority of the price. It's just $7 more if you're an annual member. Okay, last one for today. And then tomorrow's stream is going to be dedicated to team reviews. So tomorrow we'll get to like Ryan, Boot, Cucumber, Joel, Tiv. A lot of these guys will get to tomorrow, and the majority of them will get to on like the next stream and the stream after that. So, ready?
Yeah, let's do what we do and let's do it best. Thank you so much, El Dino 76. I think I'm saying that right. And this is a 1 quarterback 10 team start 7-0. So this is a heavy hitter. First heavy hitter in a minute, at least since last time I remember doing a heavy hitter.
Yeah, we haven't had a heavy hitter like this in a while. You're right. So very small roster. Yeah. Stars are very important. Depth pieces do not mean as much. Continue. Sorry.
I'm reading this context here. He says, first of all, traded neighbors for Breece Hall week 4 because I needed a running back. And let me just say something. That was probably a terrible mistake. I know you needed a running back. I would have rather you lost it all. I mean, if you telling me you won the championship and like got a massive bag, maybe I'll be okay with it. Yeah. If you're telling me your winning pool.
Think about it though, bro. Like week 4, Breece Hall, people still thought he was tier 1 with Bijan and Gibbs. And it's tough now in hindsight. Nothing we can do about it, though. Sorry, continue.
And injuries to Godwin and Nico, missing games, along with Breece underperforming, caused me to freaking lose multiple games by literally 1 or 2 points. Need a review, please, sirs. Been peeping y'all for about 4 months now. Thanks. Hey, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for
appreciate you, man.
Trusting us with your team.
Well,
yes.
The good news is, if you look at... Sorry, I just looked at Team 2. The good news is, if you look at my rankings, you are by far the best team in your league. No one has over 34,000 points. You have over 40,000, almost 41, so you're by far the best team in your league. It's a 10-team league. Anal Packers is your biggest competition. And, I mean, you got to be strong. If you're an anal packer, got to have a lot of
what?
Resistance and resilience.
Sure.
Let's read the team. Remember, it's a start 7, 1 quarterback league, so we need those heavy hitters on the squad.
Heavy hitters. At the quarterback position, Jaden Daniels, Jalen Hurts, and JJ McCarthy. I wonder what we can get for Jalen Hurts in a league like this.
A 10-teamer, maybe more than a 12-team, right? A start 7, 10-teamer, maybe he means a little bit more. Continue, sorry.
At the running back position, Breece Hall, James Conner, and the list goes on there. So, okay, running back room, not terrible, but in this format, not the best if you really think about it. At the wide receiver position, you can start up to technically 3 people, right? 2 wide receivers, 1 flex. Justin Jefferson, Brian Thomas, Nico Collins, which is great. Obviously, Nico was a huge downfall for you last year because he missed time. Same thing with Chris Godwin. You probably were starting Darnold, Mooney, within Mark Andrews, who took off in the second half of the season. Tucker Kraft was up and down. And you have the 102. And you have your 26 first. This is a great team.
Yeah. I mean, you're in a good spot. I know we'd probably like it more with Malik Neighbors on it, but you're still in a very good spot. I mean, think about your starting lineup right now. Daniels, Brees, Connor, Jefferson, Brian, Mark, and Nico. That is 7. So if your team just stays healthy, you're going to have one of the better starting lineups in the league. Now, I definitely want to use Hurts, especially because we have Fields. I definitely want to use Hurts. I'd love to get a really good RB2. In fact, like I wonder if the Gibbs or Bijan owner needs a quarterback, and we can just send them the 102 and Hurts or something.
Bijan owner definitely needs a quarterback. There's Brock Purdy. Gibbs owner has Josh Allen, unfortunately.
So yeah, like I wonder. Okay, so let's just throw that idea out there straight away. Jalen Hurts plus the 102, Bijan Robinson. Right? I mean, that would be huge for a team like this. You still start Jaden Daniels and Justin Fields as your backup, McCarthy as your backup, but then you'd start Bijan Robinson, Brees Hall. Connor's not even a name you need to start except for depth and flex, right? But let's go through the admin stuff first here. Overall team grade would probably be an A-.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Draft capital grade B+. It's good that you have all your picks. Untouchables would be Jefferson, Brian Thomas. Your holds on this team, now that you're competing, I mean, Godwin makes no sense to sell.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Kraft is another real solid hold. He could break out and take over for Mark Andrews. I'd also add Jalen Wright and Justin Fields to his holds. And a one quarterback, who knows what Fields is capable of per week. As far as drops, if you need to make room, you can drop Kareem Hunt if you want to. You can drop Luke McCaffrey if you want to. You could drop Shipley, again, if you need to make space. Waiver wire. Nothing crazy. Mike Gesicki, actually, I would pick up Mike Gesicki after that deal.
Yeah, Mike Gesicki is big, actually.
I pick up Mike for sure after that 3-year deal in Cincinnati. Okay, so we've done all admin stuff, right? This is not a Thanos for sure, right? When we look at our pathways, but it is a contender, a very strong contender. By the way, we have Link Nova here says, I was in offer, Alex. I was trying to sell. Yeah, that makes sense. Sorry. Yeah. Okay, so you're definitely a strong contender, no doubt about it. I couldn't put you at Thanos, really, but you are a very, very strong contender. So we want to get like the strongest starting lineup we possibly can. Hurts and the 102 for Bijan would be awesome. I think that would be fantastic move for a team like this. We don't need Jalen Hurts. He is expendable. The Gibbs owner, unfortunately, doesn't need a running back, so that's probably not possible. But what about the Saquon owner? They also don't need a quarterback. How about Bucky? They do. And they also have Bijan. What if we could do... Okay, so if we were only going to go Bucky, could we send them Jalen Hurts plus... Like, I almost want to go... Worthy?
Am I crazy to say Hurts is... Maybe I'm crazy to say that Hurts is even value with Bucky.
Oh, you think so?
Oh, it is close. It's close. It's like you got to add a third according to KTC type vibe.
Really? That's shocking. Well, if we can use that as a weapon, we will. It's one quarterback, right?
Like basically what they're saying, like throw in, they say throw in like a Luke McCaffrey, you'll get it done.
Yeah, okay. Well, if we don't need to send Worthy, what about Mooney?
Let's see. Mooney is a big jump according to KTC.
Okay, well, Mooney would work. I would also be willing to send, like Jalen Wright or Bateman. One of those names.
I would like the 303 type vibe.
Or 303. Yeah, that's totally fine as well.
Yeah. according to KTC, obviously, you know your league the best.
Yeah, and KTC isn't always perfect, but if you can use it to your advantage, definitely do so. Any of those moves are like really good for this team. Outside of Bucky, I'm trying to think of like my top ranked running backs. And by the way, you can remove picks now if you guys want to just see the rankings, which I prefer. So how about like a HN owner?
I'm trying to find the HN owner.
They have Allen, so that's not going to work. How far? I mean, I don't really want to go down that much further, but let's see what JT owner has.
The JT owner has, let's just saw his team.
Drake
They
May.
have Drake May, Michael Penix.
Possible. Maybe like a straight up deal, just the Hurts for Jonathan Taylor. Or maybe the same deal as Bucky.
Maybe the same deal.
Yeah, I'd do the same deal as Bucky for any of those.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. According to this, it's an even swap. Just Hurts for Jonathan Taylor.
Okay. Well, we can overpay. We can afford to overpay if we.
Yeah,
if
we definitely can.
Want to get that deal done.
I think that's kind of where I would go, because I would just be sticking and picking, because you have Breece Hall. You wait and see what that looks like, and you have the 102. Obviously, drafting Amari on.
I'm not opposed to like trying to get to McBride from Andrews, so like Andrews, Godwin, 202 vibes.
And let's keep going.
Maybe if you can just do those two, I don't know in this type of league if that's possible. Like something like that, Andrews, Godwin, 202 to get to McBride. I mean, I feel like that's definitely going to work on KTC. You know, I mean, maybe you don't need to add Godwin, you can just do Mooney. You know, it's not a premium. So you can try Andrews in the 202. I don't think that's going to work, but maybe we can do Mooney instead. Something like that, I think I really like. Again, just trying to tier up. If you stick and pick with these picks, by the way, talking about these draft picks, I mean, I think I would probably want to grab Amari on, assuming he's a first round pick, right? Assuming he's a first round pick, I think he's a perfect fit for this team.
100%.
But time will tell. At the 202, you can target whoever the best player available is. Maybe it's Golden. Maybe Caleb Johnson falls. Travis Hunter, you want to take a shot on him. Zigbuka fall out somehow. I think like Golden Hampton is like a really ideal. But also like Loveland and Warren might fall in your league as well.
Yeah, in a 10-man league. I mean, the 202 is the 112.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
And I wouldn't be trading these picks down again because he is in a small league, start 7, the smallest it can get. Players are at a premium. It's a 10-team league. We aren't interested in trading down in this guy's scenario.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's all about how can we tier up. Yeah, obviously keeping Daniels. You want to keep Breece. You really want Connor to be your RB3. But if you did, like, let's say you turned Hurts in the 303 into Bucky Irving, okay? And then you did this deal for Trey McBride. Okay, so we lost Hurts, our second and third round pick, Andrews and Mooney. However, what we've done is we've gained McBride, Bucky, Omarion Hampton. That would be perfect for this team. Your starting lineup would be Jaden Daniels, Omarion Hampton, Breece Hall, Jefferson, Thomas, Trey McBride, Collins. And then you can decide if you want to flex Bucky Irving or James Conner or Nico Collins on a week-to-week basis. This is the perfect game plan, I think, for this team. Genuinely.
Yeah, man. This is a great team. Honestly, a couple moves away from being a Thanos. But we appreciate you. And you should be receiving your customized playbook within 72 hours on the Flock Fantasy Message System with everything that we drew up here today. But this is genuinely a really good team. If you have Malik Neighbors, if you have Malik Neighbors and no Brees Hall, you would have a Marion and still have the opportunity to get a Bucky Irving here, which is crazy.
You should feel very, very good about this team, man. You should feel very
100%.
proud of it. You should probably be the favorite to win. And it's all about how can we tier up, how can we get the best lineup, how can we get the most explosive players and consistent players and superstars. So I think we've given a really good pathway to do that. And feel free to come back on the stream and ask any questions, man. Appreciate you big time.
Love.
All right, guys, that is probably going to be it for today's stream. Appreciate everybody who submitted a team. And we've got more to go through tomorrow and the day after. But if you're out there and you want your team reviewed, check out the pinned comment, flockfantasy.com/land. Become an annual Mother Flocker member with our promo code. And, then you can get that voucher with your membership. WG says the land logo is fire, but the football goes in front of the N and D while the vapor trail is behind the N and D. That's a good point.
Never noticed until you just said it, but
yeah.
At least for me, it's not that big of a deal. But
yeah. JW says, is there any way we could pay for a live review now and be put in the queue for after the real NFL draft to be the first in line? It'd be tough. It'd be tough to promise that, to be honest, man.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, in transparency, I don't want your team review to be sitting there for a month.
Yeah.
I would rather, I would say.
I mean, look, if someone says, "Can I pay an extra $30 or something to have it sit there?" Yeah, of course. Otherwise, I would just say try and time it up.
Yeah, just time it up. Time it up.
Yeah.
If you watch our stream, every day or every other day, and the draft starts on Thursday, maybe you should submit it on a Tuesday the week before, and then we can get your team reviews as soon as possible. But I think that week is going to be hectic. I'm not saying we're not going to do team reviews that week, but we're going to be creating a lot of content and pushing out a lot of other stuff. So
yeah,
we need to figure out what that even looks like for team reviews.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll be doing them though. But yeah, it's tough. Yeah, I just want you guys to feel supported now, so you keep doing such great work. I appreciate that, JW.
Yeah,
that's very kind, man. Very, very kind of you.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's it for today. Go check out the video we released if you want to know what your 2025 first round pick is worth. We released that today, and we'll see you tomorrow. All love.
Love.